Yeah, the late great much missed Talksport legend Nigel Pearson on commentary. 2012 Cardiff in the League Cup final as a championship side in that particular season. They actually took the lead, took it to extra time and then equalised with 2 minutes to go to take Liverpool to penalties. Steven Gerrard missed his for Liverpool, and then his cousin Anthony Gerrard missed a crucial penalty for Cardiff, and Liverpool lifted the cup. And you wonder if, as a League One side, Cardiff can go all the way. The last League One sides to reach the quarter-finals were Port Vale, beaten 3-0 at home by Middlesbrough 2 seasons ago. The last League One side to reach the semi-finals were Burton Albion in 2019. Got beaten in the first leg of that semi-final, 9-0 at Manchester City. They lost the second leg 1-0, so aggregate 10-0. Then Burton manager Nigel Clough said after the 9-0 first leg defeat that he felt his players didn't do much wrong. He just said it was the gulf between Man City's players and Burton's players from the middle of League One. That's the way it is, but that's the last time a side from the third tier got to the semi-finals of the League Cup. Let's see what Cardiff can do. The light show has started. The pre-kick-off entertainment has started here. And I just want to highlight again with Joe Shen and the academy products that have come through and are in this first team for Cardiff City. Dylan Lawler, Welsh international centre-back, 19 years old, from Caerphilly, 7 or 8 miles north of Cardiff. Joel Bagan, English-born left-back. Ronan Capacchio isn't started tonight, Cardiff-born right-back, 18 years old, been at Cardiff since he was 8. Kian Ashford, striker from the Rhondda. Isaac Davis, been at Cardiff since the age of 7, from Aberdare, 20 miles north of Cardiff, a Wales international as well. And Joel Colwell from Neath, a Wales international as well, only 21. Actually, Isaac Davis, I think, has caught the eye this season. He's played once for Wales. Well, they won that game 7-1. Not a bad debut, is it?
The North Macedonia game, absolutely. So he's a fully fledged Wales international. What I think is even more amazing is when you look at the Cardiff bench, and Stu and I just caught a glimpse on our monitor of the Cardiff subs walking through the tunnel. One of them, 15-year-old Axel Donchu. 15 and on the bench tonight. What an occasion it will be if he gets on up against the world champions. That would be special.
Are we sure it's not a mascot?
We did wonder.
Well, he is 15, but looks younger, don't he? I've got a paper boy looks older than him.
And the interesting selection is up front for Cardiff City. Yusuf Salek, 10 league goals. He's still to commit internationally. Could commit to Jordan, who have qualified for the World Cup next summer. So very interesting. 10 league goals, but he's been left out. Callum Robinson is in, and he's got this special record against Chelsea. If you remember Sam Allardyce's West Bromwich Albion going to Thomas Tuchel's Chelsea and winning 5-2, well, Callum Robinson was the star of the show. Do you actually think, Stuart, that Brian Barry Murphy has thought to himself, Callum Robinson, with that record against Chelsea, I can't ignore it, I've got to put him in the team?
I think there's more chance he thought, what does Adrian need to talk about tonight? I'll give him a soundbite, and he's certainly done that. Great opportunity for him tonight, as it is for a lot of these Cardiff players, you know. They're playing against the world champions, and they got a great opportunity. And beyond this, more importantly than that, there's a semi-final beyond this.
Oh yeah, it's big time, and who knows, in that semi-final, you get yourself to the final in over 90 minutes, anything can happen. And a quick word on Callum Chambers as well. He's not exactly old, Callum Chambers, but he is the old man of this team, the experienced player, the captain. Played in the League Cup final 2018. Arsenal lost 3-0 to Manchester City. Only 30 years of age, but all the experience, Stuart, he's got playing England's games as well. Callum Chambers, that could be vital tonight.
Yeah, they'll need a bit of experience on the pitch, that is for sure. And I'm just listening to this rousing anthem around the stadium. It's absolutely magnificent.
How come you're not singing along?
Don't know the words, fella, you know.
Just make it up.
I don't want to identify that I'm an Englishman sat here.
I think most people will be aware of the former England captain, Stuart Pearce, but absolutely a rousing rendition. And this is where Wales play their home games rather than the Principality, because the atmosphere here is so good, and Cardiff will need it to be good tonight. The fans have got themselves in good voice. The teams are in the tunnel waiting to come out. Chelsea have made all those changes. Cardiff might just see that as the way forward, as a chance for them to take the tie, take the quarter-final and get through to a Carabao Cup semi-final. From League One, they're top of the table, they're just keeping on winning games. Got a big one at the weekend away to Lincoln, that's third against top. Huge game, we'll have that covered on Game Day Live on Talksport, all the goals as they go in, as we take you around the grounds, as we do every Saturday on Talksport. But listen to the noise here in South Wales, in the Welsh capital, as the captains lead their teammates out over the white line, onto the pitch, and we get ready for battle. It's a cup quarter-final, it's a tester for Maresca. Cardiff have become winning machines under Brian Barry Murphy. Chelsea couldn't win in Azerbaijan, they lost it in Italy. What will they do here in Wales? It's live on Talksport. Cardiff against Chelsea, with League Cup winning captain Stuart Pearce, alongside your commentator Joe Shannon.
Thanks, Adrian. Good evening to you on what could be a very special night in South Wales. There's a genuine positivity here at Cardiff City, top of League One, with a squad full of top local talent. Step forward then, a Chelsea side with a head coach whose happiness appears uncertain and form on the field inconsistent of late. All the ingredients for a cup shock, we will find out over the next 90 plus minutes. Cardiff boast a 100% winning record from previous League Cup quarter-finals. They reached the semis in 1965, 1966 and in 2012, when they went all the way to the final, beaten by Liverpool on penalties. Nathan Trott is the Cardiff goalkeeper, and G, Lawler, Chambers and Bagan in the back four. Wintle and Turnbull holding. Joel Colwill, Ashford and Davis behind Robinson up front. And for Chelsea, the goalkeeper is Jorgensen, Achampong, Tosin, Badiashile and Harto in the back four. Caicedo and Andre Santos, George, Buonanotte and Gittins in support of Guillou up front. They have a very strong bench tonight, Chelsea. The likes of Neto, Enzo Fernandez, João Pedro, Chalobah, James, Gusto, Fofana, Garnacho and Sanchez, should they need them. And for Cardiff City, the substitutes are Turner, Fish, Willock, Robertson, Salek, Mafiko, Yakua, Donchu and Giles. What a noise at the Cardiff City Stadium. First set out here, Stuart Pearce, for 6 years, and they're making the most of it.
Yeah, as I say, this place is absolutely rocking in here, and it's great to see this stadium absolutely full up. And just going back to your point on Chelsea have got that insurance policy on the bench. The likes of João Pedro, Garnacho, Neto, all the ability to come on, influence a game and get a goal.
Well, it's a night where anything is possible, and Callum Robinson has talked about the magic of the Cup. It's not just the FA Cup, it's the League Cup where all sorts can happen. As Chelsea go into a huddle ahead of kick-off, Chelsea in their change kit tonight. The white shirts, dark green shorts and dark green socks. Cardiff City are in the royal blue shirts, white shorts and royal blue socks. 39 years on from their last win over Chelsea, the team from the third tier are up for a cup set. The semi-finals of the League Cup at stake, and all four quarter-finals are live with us on Talksport. As ever, you wouldn't want to be anywhere else. Well, the floodlights are on here, barely a spare seat to be had. It's a chilly night in South Wales, and Chelsea with boos ringing around the stadium here. Chelsea kick us off from right to left in the first half towards the Canton end of the stadium. Cardiff playing from left to right towards the Grange end, and Cardiff fans all around the ground on their feet. Chelsea win the first throw near side to left, and Yoral Harto will come across to take it on the near side touchline. Harto back to Benoit Badiashile, and I can already see Enzo Maresca, hands in pockets on the edge of his technical area. Brian Barry Murphy, the former Man City under-23s coach, he knows him well. Just to the left, we are about 20 rows from the edge of the pitch here in the lower tier of the grandstand, and Cardiff get a free kick inside their own half. That's because Tyrick George is offside. It's belted upfield by Nathan Trott, the half-header away by Achampong, then toss in further clear for Chelsea, up towards the halfway line. Achampong is there again, and he will roll it all the way back to Jorgensen, all in bright orange. And we know, Stuart Pearce, that Chelsea are a team of a rotated squad, and they're not afraid to make changes. 11 tonight. You do wonder whether that could be one or two too many. I suppose the next 90 minutes will tell us the answer.
Yeah, it certainly will. What it shouldn't do, it shouldn't take away from their performance by some of these players, because they've got something to prove. The ones that have been put in the side that probably don't play as regularly as they would like in the Chelsea lineup. But once again, Cardiff there just going on a highish press there, a 4-1-4-1 press, and Chelsea had to go long, just give the foul away.
They are full of confidence, Cardiff City, especially after their 99th minute winner here at the weekend against Doncaster. The ball has been played backwards to Callum Chambers, the former Arsenal man. His clearance is charged down by Mark Guiu. Chelsea win the ball back high up the pitch, and George out on the right-hand side will roll it back to Achampong, and Chelsea with Tosin, tall and slender, the experienced centre-half, hooks a high ball up the left-hand side. Gittins goes up for it with Perry and G has been caught there. The referee is going to have to stop it. Tony Harrington is the man in the middle, and G caught by the challenge of Gittins, and he's ended up on his back, landed awkwardly, I think. I'm not sure it's a head injury, Stuart, but the referee has stopped it.
Shoulder, Joe. He's just landed on his shoulder awkwardly. Say, two players very committed to go for the ball, and he's just nursing that right arm of his.
But it's great to see this stadium full for a club game. As Adrian was saying, it is the home of Wales internationals, and it'll be the home of Wales for the playoffs in March. But to see it full for a Cardiff City match really is something to behold. And of course, the semi-finals of the League Cup are at stake. Live on Talksport, and with our friends in North America on Sirius XFM FC. High long ball down the Chelsea right towards Tyrick George. Bagan, the left back, with the yellow boots on, is across, and George wrestles him to the ground, and the assistant is flagging. It's a Cardiff free kick. Well, you'd have to say, in the opening 3.5 minutes or so, the team top of League One have made a pretty good start, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, they have. They've been pretty committed in their challenges, and Chelsea have hit a couple of decent diagonals themselves, actually, to George and Gittins, trying to get in behind the Cardiff back line.
Nathan Trott, the goalkeeper who Stuart worked with at West Ham. You said he was good with his feet. He's just skipped away from Gittins and cleared the ball downfield. How about that for confidence?
Well, I've seen it many times in training sessions. Honestly, he's not just a normal goalkeeper. He's an outfield player that's very good in goal. It's as simple as that. He's very, very comfortable with his feet. And you saw it just then, just dropped his shoulder and then delivered a fantastic ball forward. And if you want to play football, he's as good as any to have in your goal.
What did you say before the game? You get two goalkeepers in. Well, he can happily play out on the pitch if he needs to.
Yeah, he certainly can.
Chelsea have it back on the halfway line with the Dutchman, Harto, back to Moises Caicedo, back from a 3-game domestic ban after that red card against Arsenal, midway inside his own half. Toss in square to Badiashile, and all the way back to Jorgensen, who's been the regular League Cup goalkeeper for Chelsea this season. Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0. Live on Talksport from the League Cup. We've got Manchester City against Brentford, Newcastle against Fulham, live tomorrow on the network, and Arsenal against Crystal Palace a couple of days before Christmas. Chelsea on the attack, Buonanotte trying to shuffle down the right. Chambers gets across, and the ball is out of play via a firm but fair challenge from Callum Chambers, out for a Cardiff throw, far side, a Chelsea throw, far side there, right.
Yeah, just when Jorgensen gets the ball at the back, Cardiff are playing cat and mouse with him, really, pushing right up to the halfway line, tempting him to play that ball over the top, but they've got to retreat very quickly because he's quite happy to do so.
Harto's notched it out left to Gittins, who suddenly darts infield at great pace, 25 yards out with the shot, and that's turned away by young Dylan Lawler at the heart of the Cardiff back line. 19 years old, the Welshman. Cardiff City, born and bred through the youth academy, and Cardiff get a throw in the right back position. And what is really great about Cardiff City this season, the Bluebirds is that so much of a team that has got up to the top end of League One, playing good football under Brian Barry Murphy, has had the nucleus of a side made up of youngsters, local players who know the club, they get the club, and there hadn't been enough of that at Cardiff City over recent years. 0-0 against Chelsea, and you wouldn't be able to tell there's such a great gulf between the two sides at the moment. Kian Ashford, the attacking midfield player, raiding down the near side, the right. He sets up Joel Colwill. He can chip in the cross. Robinson with the looping header, and it's easy in the end for Jorgensen. He might have taken it off the toes of Isaac Davis coming in behind him at the far post. It was an easy save in the end, 0-0.
Super play on the right-hand side here, and lofted ball into the far side. And it was Davis just coming in, and sadly for him, Robinson's took the header off of his toes. It was going to fall beautifully for him to hit on the volley, but just obviously with the noise generated in this stadium, Joe, no way he could hear a shout.
Well, 5 goals in 3 Premier League appearances against Chelsea in the past for Callum Robinson. Chelsea tried to get on the attack again, but Lawler's there once more. Heart of the defence to smuggle it upfield. Joel Colwill is fouled right in front of the referee, Tony Harrington. No booking for Yoral Harto. Free kick to Cardiff on halfway. Lawler's belted it against the back of Buonanotte. Play goes on. Cardiff have it in their royal blue shirts out on the far side of the field.
Yeah, Cardiff are going to have to play through the thirds here, because when you look across that front line from here, Joe, there's not much height at all, is there? And
not at all.
Compared to the Chelsea back line, anything in the air will be eaten up by them.
Cardiff come forward away on the left, the far side with Bagan. And now Turnbull, the Scotsman, formerly of Celtic, in the middle of midfield. David Turnbull, very solid player at League One level. Back to the halfway line in Chambers. They play some good stuff under Brian Barry Murphy, who knows Enzo Maresca well from their days at Manchester City. Knows 1 or 2 of the Chelsea players as well. Palmer and Delat played under him in the 23s. Ashford scampering in field for Cardiff and lays it back to Joel Colwill. It's 0-0 on Talksport, and we've had 8 minutes. Not far here from the old Ninian Park as it was. That was quite a ground for atmospheres on cup nights. As Cardiff look for Bagan away on the left-hand side, trying to jink beyond Acheampong. Good cross into the near post, header away by Tossin for Chelsea. Rising highest, and now Acheampong will hammer the ball high into the dark night sky. Bounces towards halfway. No foul by Guiu on the defender Chambers, but Cardiff get the throw anyway, and Chelsea inviting Cardiff onto them there.
Yeah, I think if Chelsea weren't sure what to get from Cardiff, they've got a team that can knock the ball around and very comfortable on the eye, that is for sure, and getting many in the box, 5 on that occasion.
England legend Stuart Pearce with us tonight on Talksport. Lawler has possession again for Cardiff. Number 48, forward to Ryan Wintle, the defensive midfield player. Midway inside his own half, he's going to roll it square to Chambers. Early ball over the halfway line, straight to Acheampong. Chelsea have it back. Out on the right is Tyrick George. He's got a good scoring record in this competition this season. He nearly left Chelsea in the last window to go to Fulham, but he's stayed and is a part of this Chelsea squad. Now Buonanotte gliding over the halfway line in the yellow boots. Buonanotte shuffles forward, plays the ball square to Andre Santos. Forward now to Guiu, edge of the area. Can't knock it back to a teammate in a white shirt. Cardiff smuggle it away. It's come back to Acheampong, and now Caicedo strokes the ball out to the left-hand side, the Chelsea captain. Gittins back in field, and Cardiff City have got everybody back behind the ball. Chelsea playing from right to left in the first half. And great noise all around this stadium in the build-up, and that has continued into the opening 10 minutes. Chelsea come forward again. Guiu with his back to goal. Plays it back to Buonanotte. Wriggles away from 2 in blue. And the referee thought that he'd spotted a foul, but plays the advantage. The ball is angled wide left to Gittins, running at Perry and G, who's backing off him. Gittins heads for the dead ball line, and G gets back at him, and so too does Ashford at the expense of a Chelsea corner on the near side.
Yeah, Cardiff working tirelessly at the moment. If Chelsea do turn the ball over, and they've taken a quick corner here and got an opportunity.
Badiashile with a sweeping effort over the top from the edge of the penalty area. The ironic cheers from the Cardiff fans will tell you it wasn't close to troubling Nathan Trott.
No, it certainly wasn't. And what Cardiff are doing is doubling up in these wide areas, and that's really important. They do that. The work ethic in the side, you can see there, the organisation as well. Chelsea quick free kick there. Just getting Badiashile free on the edge of the box, but his finish was poor.
More than 3,000 Chelsea fans have made the trip away to the right-hand side as we look at it. The Grange end of the ground. Cardiff coming forward with Bagan, the left-back. Out on the far side, the left. Tucks it infield to Turnbull, and he'll roll it back to the halfway line, and Lawler. Patient on the ball when they need to be, Cardiff City. 4 points clear at the top of League One after finishing bottom in the Championship last season, but finally they seem to have got a managerial appointment right.
Yeah, I think you made a good point there, Joe. As I say, they don't rush to get the ball forward. You know, if it's on to go forward in one, they'll do it. If not, they're patient, they switch play.
And G racing down the inside right all of a sudden. Chelsea have got plenty back behind the ball here. There's no immediate threat to the Chelsea goal. It's with Wintle for Cardiff City. Number 6, midway inside Chelsea territory. Angled wide to Ng. Perry Ng, very experienced player at lower league level. Back to Wintle once more, and Cardiff again content to keep possession, pass and probe. Can they find that incisive touch? Isaac Davis blocked off, and the play continues with Turnbull. Advantage played. Turnbull with a shot, and Jorgensen is right behind it, gathers it into his chest.
Yeah, just a foul on the edge of the box. Good refereeing, didn't stop the game, and a good effort. Just curling in there. Jorgensen just parried it to the floor, just gathered it second time round.
Davis was really clattered into there by Achampong, and Chelsea in the end get away with it. Let's go to Ali Pali, get the latest from the darts with Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Ricardo Pietreczko is through. He's beaten Jose de Souza by 3-1. That means de Souza loses his tour card. Action continues. Danny Noppert against Jeroen van der Velde. It's next on Talksport 2.
Thank you, Mark. That is live to watch also on our darts YouTube channel, as Cardiff City win a free kick 10 yards shy of the halfway line. Cardiff have started really well in this game. 0-0 against Chelsea as we approach the quarter hour mark, and the referee is just saying to Buonanotte, you need to take a couple of steps back. Buonanotte trying to delay the restart. Busy week of live football, massive few days upcoming across the Talksport network. Crystal Palace against KUPS in the Conference League tomorrow. Swansea Wrexham on Friday in an all-Welsh encounter. Then on Saturday, Chelsea away at Newcastle live on Talksport. Everton Arsenal live on Talksport in the Premier League. Leeds against Crystal Palace. Southampton against Coventry. And we've got the Monday night football before Christmas for you as well. That is Fulham against Nottingham Forest. Nathan Trott is the most composed goalkeeper with his feet I've seen all season. He's just skipped away from Guiu this time.
Well, he's obviously had contact with a very good coach in his background.
Somebody there somewhere has inspired him. Here come Chelsea on the attack. Tyrick George, low ball in. Nobody can get there with the crucial touch. It's going to evade Gittins. It has gone out of play for a Chelsea throw. There must have been a Cardiff nick on that delivery.
Yeah, as I say, it was put into a real danger area, but the Chelsea front line hadn't got there on time to deal with that. I tell you who's caught my eye in this early stage is Whittle in the middle of the midfield there for Cardiff. He's dropping back into it. He's doing his defensive work, but he's also dropping back into the back line to receive and knit play together rather nicely.
Former crewman Ryan Wintle, who actually was on loan at Millwall for much of last season as Cardiff struggled in the Championship, but a regular this season. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0, and we have nearly reached the quarter hour mark. And Achampong has won it back off Isaac Davis. He's darting forward into the penalty area. Brilliant run by Achampong. The low shot is blocked. He'll get it back on the left-hand side for Chelsea from Gittins. Achampong running away from goal. Now plays it backwards to Harto. Chelsea have it with Caicedo. Long way out in a central area. Caicedo square to Tosin. 0-0 in the League Cup quarter-final. Here is Buonanotte. 5 yards from the corner of the penalty area. Wide out to the right-hand side. Tyrick George from the dead ball line. Spins on the ball. Cardiff have got everybody back to defend. And Chelsea are slow, actually, here, really, to try and capitalise on that burst a few moments ago from Achampong. who is very good on the ball, the right back. Can also play in the centre-half position. And in the end, Chelsea Stewart have ended up going all the way back into their own half.
Yeah, the shape of this press from Cardiff is that good that they've had to be very patient. But the one thing, if you're going to say what is the difference between one team and the other, the athleticism probably of Chelsea shows they are a Premier League outfit. Sometimes when a couple of their players just open up the legs, they are really sort of athletic in their movement.
Well, Davis has been booked for a late lunge on Achampong right in front of the referee. Cardiff fans think that's harsh, and Chelsea take the resulting free kick. More than 30,000 here in South Wales tonight beneath the floodlights, and the fans are nice and close to the pitch at Cardiff City Stadium. And Chelsea get another free kick on the halfway line. Caicedo has gone down. 50 live games for you in the month of December across the Talksport network, and we're the only station with Premier League commentary on Boxing Day, which is Manchester United against Newcastle. And Chelsea now look down the middle towards Guiu. It's cleared away by Lawler on the volley. Bagan in the left-back position, far side the left for Cardiff. Oh, he was nearly tackled there by George in a dangerous area. A bit lucky that he was able to find Chambers. Rolls it back to the goalkeeper, Trott, all in bright pink, and he hammers it high downfield. Now Badiashile from the centre circle for Chelsea. Heavy touch from Chambers, but Guiu coming back from an offside position, and Cardiff get a free kick. No threat to the Cardiff goal whatsoever so far. Actually, if anything, in terms of chances, quite a forgettable first 17 minutes. Enzo Maresca marching up and down his technical area, but Chelsea a bit laboured somewhat, and maybe that's understandable with the 11 changes that they've made tonight. A lot of good quality on the Chelsea bench if they need it.
I've got to say, I've been really impressed with the way Cardiff have gone about this game, Joe. They've been incredible, haven't they?
They don't look like a League One team at all. They look fit for the Championship, which is exactly where they want to be next season. Callum Robinson is away on the left wing position, far side of the field. Three ambling towards the edge of the penalty area in blue, not at any great pace. It's come back to Turnbull. Turnbull with the ball out to the left-hand side again. Robinson with an in-swinging cross, right-footed, headed away by Tossett initially and smuggled further clear by Caicedo. There was no great danger for Chelsea there. And now George carries the ball over the halfway line on the counter. And then he stops on the ball, slows it down under pressure from Turnbull, who forces him to go back into his own half. Yeah, the way they are set up off the ball, Cardiff, there's a real sophistication about them. It doesn't feel as though they're overwrought by the occasion one bit. They are here, and they are here in the League Cup quarters on merit.
Yep, they certainly are, and they go and press aggressively. The back line are right up on the halfway line. They go man to man, and when they can, it's a sort of 4-1-4-1 press.
Well, they're playing their football. They're playing the way that they would usually play under Brian Barry Murphy. You've got to admire them for that. Caicedo nudges the ball out to play just in front of us here, and a throw to Cardiff City at the base of this main stand, the grandstand, and G will take the throw. Cardiff's number 38 goes back to the halfway line. Cardiff last beat Chelsea in the League Cup in October 1986. Nick Platnauer, a defender, scored both goals that day. Callum Robinson with a little touch back to Turnbull. Might there be a Cardiff City hero against Chelsea tonight? Chelsea scamper forward with Buonanotte, carries it towards the edge of the penalty area, beyond two in blue, not past Wintle, who Stewart has picked out as one of the players of the game so far. Maresca not happy. Chelsea win it back. Tyrick George is away, crosses right-footed, cleared by Ng on the volley, scoops it high into the air, headed further away by Bagan. No challenge on Bagan. It was a free header for the defender to nudge it clear. Chelsea again win it back high up the pitch. That Champong back to Badiashile, who's going to actually let Caicedo take it in front of him in the centre circle. And just for a moment there, it looked as though Buonanotte might have wriggled his way forward into a goal-scoring chance, but it remains 0-0, and Cardiff growing in belief, and so are the crowd around us here with 20 minutes gone.
Yeah, if I was looking from a neutral aspect here, you think if Cardiff are going to win this tie, they're probably going to have to score where they've got an ascendancy in the game at the moment, because Chelsea's key card, you would say, is the athleticism that some of their players look as though they've got. On occasion, when they have burst forward, they've gone past one or two players quite comfortably in the Cardiff shirt.
And we know what Chelsea have got on the bench, should they need it. A bench of extraordinary quality, really, even with the likes of Cole Palmer left out, rested, Marc Cucurella suspended, and no place for the likes of Liam Delap, he's injured. Cardiff have given it away. Caicedo, middle of the Cardiff half, onto Buonanotte. Further forward is George, into the penalty area now. Good block by Bagan on the slide. Angle was slightly against Tyrick George, drove it right-footed. Bagan sliding in makes a brave challenge.
Well, they just got caught playing out of the back there, Cardiff, and Bagan's recovery was absolutely outstanding. Went to ground but got a great block on.
We're heading towards the halfway point in the first half, and neither goalkeeper's been seriously tested as yet. That in part is why it is goalless. Here is toss-in for Chelsea. Out to the right-back position in Acheampong, forward to the halfway line. A loose ball backwards by George. And the throw eventually goes Cardiff's way off Buonanotte. Facundo Buonanotte, who is on a season-long loan from Brighton. And this is a relatively rare appearance for him in a Chelsea shirt this season. He's started all three now in the League Cup. Chelsea not entirely convincing in beating Lincoln and Wolves away from home so far.
Do you think it's a strange loan move for Buonanotte coming from a
it felt
Premier
odd
League
at the
side?
time, didn't it? And it's felt strange since. But I suppose there's a part to play, and you probably get a sense of what kind of game time you'll get at Chelsea, Stuart, right? They'll tell you that you're part of the second team, if you like. That's what's happened with Buonanotte. Over the top goes Bagan. Isaac Davis. Crowd on their feet. Davis shoots, and it's wide. Slices it wide from inside the penalty area. What a chance for Cardiff City. The crowd got to their feet, and in the end, the finish from Davis was really wayward. Didn't catch it at all, and it's gone so far wide, it's nearly out of play. In fact, it is out of play for a Chelsea throw.
Well, just caught Acheampong out there. I thought he was going to head it, and all of a sudden he's misjudged it. It's gone over his head. Davis got in, never really got control of the ball. He needed to get it onto that left foot to keep it away from the defender. He was too hurried.
Been at the club since the age of 7, Isaac Davis, and he didn't catch that right at all. That was his big moment, and Cardiff's big moment in the game so far. Stays 0-0, but that's the first time really, aside from George's effort blocked by Bagan, that either team have been in behind in the game. Forward high and long by Acheampong for Chelsea, header away by Lawler of Cardiff, 0-0. Now it's with Andrés Santos, the Brazilian, in the middle of midfield for Chelsea. Not really seen him on the ball all that much so far. Acheampong back to toss in. Chelsea keep easy possession. Caicedo with a 10-yard ball to the right-back area. Acheampong, ball bounced up towards his arm. Cardiff fans wanted handball. Referee says no. Cardiff should have won it back in the middle of midfield with Chambers, but he let it bounce over his right boot. And now Chelsea with George suddenly marauding in field and trying to inject some pace into this Chelsea team. Badiashile finding Gittins out on the left. Brian Barry Murphy, the Cardiff boss, in his tracksuit and coat, pacing up and down on the touchline and watching every move. Knows Enzo Maresca very well. The ball is on the halfway line with George. Back to Acheampong. 0-0, and frustrating so far for the world champions, for the Premier League club, Stuart Pearce.
It certainly has been frustrating. As I say, whenever they've sort of got a sniff of going past somebody, the Cardiff shirts doubled up and trebled up on it, and I think they've been quite shocked by it, how aggressive they've been on the press, Cardiff, and also as well how comfortable they've been playing out from the back. And this young man Lawler as well has impressed me a great deal.
Only 19, Dylan Lawler, restored to the Cardiff side tonight. The Chelsea go back to Jorgensen, and here is Tosin again on the edge of his own penalty area. Jorgensen once more has the ball. The Danish Chelsea goalkeeper, Rob Sanchez, of course, very much the number one and impressing at Chelsea these days. Long from Jorgensen, high out to the left. Good ball to Harto, who is inside the Cardiff half, then drifts back into his own territory. Rather meandered over that did Harto. Chelsea have worked it into the feet of Guiu inside the centre circle. Now Caicedo back to Badiashile. 0-0 on Talksport. Toss it. And a competitive League Cup quarter-final it most certainly has been so far. All 4 League Cup quarter-finals are live on Talksport and Talksport 2. Tomorrow night, Manchester City against Brentford underway at 7:30 on Talksport. Newcastle Fulham on 2 at 8:15. And then on the 23rd of December, a couple of days before Christmas, Arsenal take on Crystal Palace on Talksport. The final is towards the end of March at Champong for Chelsea on the halfway line. Back it goes to Andre Santos. Andre Santos shuffles it on to Buonanotte, beaten to it by Chambers. Buonanotte's got to be sharper than that. Davis trying to turn beyond at Champong on the far side. The Cardiff left, the Chelsea right. It's actually quite a good battle between those two, Stuart, in the first half.
Yeah, it certainly is. There's a few great head-to-heads on this pitch as well. And I've got to say, when you talk about putting a marker down early on in the game, as in Cardiff's point of view, what they've done, they've squeezed on, they've gone man for man, out of possession, they've just gone man for man on the press when the goalie's got the ball, and that sends a message to Chelsea: we don't fear you, we're happy to go 1-on-1 or 2-on-2 on the halfway line.
It is a front-footed approach from Cardiff City. Chambers has just been booked, by the way. He caught Guiu with a late lunging challenge on the edge of the centre circle. Free kick to Chelsea, and Achampong has it on the halfway line. Chelsea looking to win the League Cup for a 6th time this season. Last did so in 2015 under Juan Jose Mourinho. Out on the left-hand side for Chelsea is Gittins, and he's 1-on-1 here with Perry and G. Left corner of the penalty area. Gittins tries to dart infield, and then he's just blocked off by a combination of Ng and Ashford. And Gittins looked quite uncertain there as to where to go in that 1-on-1. You thought he was going to go on the outside, but took too long, and Cardiff smuggled it away quite easily. Yeah,
good tag action there. Ashford dropping back and helping Ng out, and Gittins, as you rightly said, didn't have a clue where to go. And it's these wide areas that might, and I say might with a reservation here, unlock things for Chelsea, but at the moment their wingers are not going past the fullbacks.
Nearly half an hour gone. Ashford throws himself to the ground right in front of Enzo Maresca, who's not convinced it was a foul. Free kick to Cardiff on the halfway line. The Cardiff fans, meanwhile, are screaming at the assistant referee and the referee on the field that it should have been a booking for the foul on Ashford. Buonanotte came across and there was minimal contact, really. I'm not convinced it was even a foul. Anyway, Cardiff have the free kick and they go back to Chambers. As we tick towards that half an hour mark, Trott, the goalkeeper, plays the ball out with his left foot to the right back position in Ng, blocked off by Harto. Now here come Chelsea on the counter. Caicedo to Buonanotte. He can't poke it forward to Guiu down the middle. They look a bit pedestrian in the attacking third here, Chelsea. There's no great invention from these Chelsea players at the moment. I can't remember Guiu really having a meaningful touch of the ball, a genuinely meaningful touch.
Yes, I think
is that fair?
You make a great statement there, Joe. I've got to say that probably sums them up very much. They don't look as though they've got a trick or an individual ability to go past somebody.
And that will give hope to Cardiff, won't it, Stu? And they've got a free kick now, away in the left wing position on the far side of the field. If Cardiff can get a goal, you get the sense Chelsea could be in some trouble tonight.
Yeah, indeed. As I say, they're playing with real swagger and confidence, Cardiff. I weren't expecting this, I've got to say. Turned up today and I thought Chelsea might put them on the back foot, but it's been anything but.
So, free kick to Cardiff City. Away on the far side, the left. It'll be taken by David Turnbull. Hoists it high into the penalty area. Chambers goes up for it, and the offside flag is up on the near side. That checkered flag quickly up against somebody in royal blue. It'll be a free kick to Chelsea on the edge of their own penalty area. I mean, the one shot that has had to be saved so far has been a Cardiff effort, and Davis denied by Jorgensen, who was right behind it. It wasn't a particularly difficult save. Throw to Chelsea in the right back area on the far side there right. Chelsea have won the last 5 meetings between the two clubs since that League Cup win for Cardiff in 86, 39 years ago. Half an hour gone, 0-0. Jorgensen for Chelsea. You're listening to Talksport Jorgensen with a simple ball forward to the centre circle. Guillou is there to hold it up for Chelsea. Guillou skips away from Colwell, plays it back to Badiashile on the halfway line. Angled ball to the left-hand side. Yoral Harto is there. Harto back to Badiashile. And again, Chelsea a bit ponderous in their build-up play. Good turn by Caicedo, though, darting through the middle. And a lovely slide rule pass. Guillou is in the area. Guillou across goal. Good save by Trotz. Turned it away with his legs. And then he pounces on the rebound as well.
Yeah, really good play. First time Chelsea have opened things up. Guillou just peeled off, went in the inside left channel. Tried to give it everything he had, but Trotsky was good enough for it, as we used to call him.
I was going to say. That didn't come out of nowhere, did it?
No, it didn't. He has absolutely no idea who Trotsky is, actually. That's the trouble.
He's no historian then, is he? But he's a good goalkeeper.
He certainly was. Great save there and gathered up the rebound.
He said he was good with his feet. There he was again, saving with his feet this time. First time that Chelsea had broken through, and maybe not a great surprise that Caicedo heavily involved in the attack. Yeah,
as I say, broke away well there, and just his slide pass was good, but the angle just got a little bit too narrow for Guillou. Sorry.
Cardiff, yes, he plays for a different London team. Cardiff will be delighted, though, I think, with the first 31 and a half minutes. I mean, for that to be the first effort for Chelsea says something about the way that Cardiff have played. Callum Chambers on the retreat. He's lost out to Buonanotte, the former Arsenal man. Square ball to Harto. And now Andre Santos, about 30 yards from goal. Cardiff have got plenty behind the ball there. Chelsea work it wide to Tyreek George, edge of the penalty area. Good defending by Davis. Davis fronts him up and wins it back. Davis is going to take on Badiashile. Way on the far side, the left, and Davis has darted up towards the halfway line, but he's been blocked off by a combination of Andre Santos and Acheampong, and Chelsea have got it back again. And now on this near side of the field with Gittins, about 20 yards in front of us. Now Caicedo with the ball forward. Good dummy by Buonanotte, but Guillou not on the same wavelength. And Lawler is there to mop it up for Cardiff. Just a little uptick in the intensity of the game in the last few moments. Here come Cardiff with Ashford on the right. Cleared away by Harto, only as far as Perry and G. And G's played it backwards to Wintle. And Wintle slows the game down, finds Lawler in the centre circle. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Out on the left-hand side for Cardiff is Chambers, and further wide is Bagan. Bagan holds it up for the League One team. The League One leaders, Cardiff City. David Turnbull on the far side, blocked off by Andre Santos. Cardiff throw. This is good from the home team. Bagan's going to go across to take it. We haven't seen a long Cardiff City throw yet in the game.
I'm just looking at a way that Chelsea might hurt Cardiff. Cardiff going in on a full press, and even like when the centre forward drops in a little bit, they're wide players, it leaves them in wide areas 2-on-2, and the goal is trying to affect that long ball.
Oh, Isaac Davis is in down the left, low ball in, takes a deflection and turned behind by Jorgensen. Well, it's a good reaction from the goalkeeper, right-footed to claw that behind. It was so nearly 1-0 to Cardiff.
Well, there was a lot of people around us on their feet. They thought that had gone in, and to be honest with you, I was one of them. I thought him wrong-footed him on the deflection, and the goalie's got down really well. That was going inside the post, Joe.
He has done brilliantly there, Jorgensen. It's a terrific save. 0-0 the score, but for how much longer here at Cardiff City Stadium? Cardiff corner, Turnbull takes it, thumping header up into the air and away by Harto. Perry and G tries to knock it back in on the volley, really a clumsy effort, cleared away by Guillou over the halfway line, and Cardiff retained possession. Well, Davis is causing Chelsea some problems on the Chelsea right. On the Cardiff left, it was a terrific reaction stop, as I say. Excellent agility from Jorgensen to get down to that. Chelsea throw right in front of the Cardiff dugout. And, well, Jorgensen and Trott now have had to make good saves to keep the scoreline level. And you're absolutely right, half the ground at Cardiff City Stadium thought it was in.
The goalie Jorgensen's got to take some credit. Really good save.
10 minutes of the first half to go, plus whatever's added.
I think if you're Chelsea at the moment, Joe, you'd be really disappointed, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah.
It's not been a great performance. They've not done anything to Cardiff to suggest that they're going to roll them over, that is for sure.
You'd think about changes surely at half-time. If you're Enzo Maresca, no foul on Callum Robinson. Striding forward is Caicedo over the halfway line. Caicedo's got George to his right-hand side. Guiu is in the middle, so too Gittins. George with a whipped cross, and it's overhit beyond everybody in the white Chelsea shirts in the middle. Cardiff City throw, and again, no great quality in the attack from Chelsea there.
No, as I say, decent run down the wing by George, but he's just put too much violence on the ball, and it's come out right on this left-hand side, just away to our left.
Well, we've already had a couple of shocks in the League Cup this season. Perhaps most memorably, Grimsby knocking out Manchester United on penalties. Are we set for another League Cup shock tonight here at the quarter-final stage? 2 games away from the final, these teams. Here is Acheampong, surging up the inside right for Chelsea. Good tackle, sliding in there, Bagan. And Cardiff can counter. Bagan's been played over the halfway line. Caicedo is with him. Caicedo sticks to the task, pokes it out of play, and it's a Cardiff throw.
Yeah, it's just those levels of athleticism, and you just don't know over 90 minutes will they pay off. Caicedo driving back there, just managing to stop that counter-attack.
Now the Cardiff fans leaping up there in delight as Caicedo was forced to put it out of play. We're in the 37th minute, and it remains a cagey 0-0. Back it goes to the Cardiff goalkeeper, Nathan Trott. Trott now has plenty of time on the ball. He's going to roll it out to the left-sided centre-half, Cadam Chambers, and Chambers carries it forward out to the left-back, and that's Bagan. Bagan forward to Davis down the middle, nearly gets caught between the legs of Acheampong. He got a bit lucky there because it fell for him perfectly, Acheampong. In a different time, that might have hit the inside of his foot and trickled through to Davis. He might have been clear.
Yeah, I thought Davis took it brilliantly, actually, and just on the half turn. And if it hadn't have caught Acheampong, all of a sudden he's clear and he's in on goal again.
Well, he's been the man who has come closest for Cardiff City. 0-0 it remains. Header on by Harto for Chelsea, hooked away by Wintle up to the halfway line. Well brought down by Colwill. He just plucked that very neatly out of the air. Given away by Ashford. He didn't know that Gittins was behind him. And now Buonanotte for Chelsea, looking to wriggle away from 2 in blue. He's knocked it wide to Gittins. Gittins is 15-20 yards now into the Cardiff half. Back to Harto, and Harto to the halfway line. And Chelsea again here with Caicedo. I can see that some of the Chelsea fans are heading for the concourses already ahead of half-time. Still 7 minutes of the first half to play. Acheampong has threaded the ball forward to George, who is inside his own half at the moment. Back to Caicedo, first time ball whipped crossfield, right to left, out to the far side, the near side rather, in Gittins, who is taking on G in a 1-on-1. Gittins tries a double step over. I'm not sure what he was thinking there. Either way, Lawler has come across in front of Guiu, swept it away, and again Chelsea not able to provide the attacking quality that they need to break down the League One leaders.
I've got to say that the confidence that Lawler's showing at the moment, his decision making for such a young man has been absolutely outstanding.
Well, Dylan Lawler made his senior debut only last season, Stuart, but a real breakthrough in the first team this season in League One. And they're a confident team all over the pitch, aren't they, Cardiff City?
When you consider someone's 19 there, left to deal with one-on-one, when his decision making is absolutely superb. He knows when to push in, when to drop off, when to hurry the attack, when to be nice and composed on the ball.
Good work by NG, stretching to collect a high long ball forward by Jorgensen and nudge it back to his own goalkeeper. Cardiff look to build from the back, 0-0 against Chelsea, with Cardiff playing from left to right in the first half. Trott pings the ball up the middle towards Robinson. It's over his head. Tosin had a hold of his shirt. Tosin ducked, and it has gone beyond both of them all the way through to Badiashile of Chelsea. Quite a chilly night here in South Wales now. Badiashile at walking pace, Chelsea's number 5. Cardiff know they don't need to put any pressure on Badiashile straight away because the ball is deep into the Chelsea half, and now Chambers has nudged it forward. Robinson is going to chase it. Is all in hope, no expectation. Out of play for a goal kick to Chelsea, away to the right. It's been quite poor from Chelsea, I think it's fair to say.
Yeah, it has certainly been that. you would say in the wide areas where you hope Gittins and George might have the beating of the fullbacks. That's certainly not been the case. Their tactic of drawing the defence out and then playing long balls behind to isolated defenders one-on-one hasn't really worked up to now.
Chelsea's next game away at Newcastle, live on Talksport on Saturday lunchtime. Saturday night will bring you Everton against Arsenal in the Premier League. And here come Chelsea with Gittins suddenly surging up the middle onto his right foot. Good tackle by Turnbull, tracking back, just whipped it off his toes. The loose ball has dropped out to the far side, the Chelsea right. Acheampong trying to carry it forward. He's played it back to George now. And on by Andre Santos to Buonanotte, right corner of the penalty area. Back towards Acheampong, and Buonanotte has just overhit a simple 10-yard ball. Acheampong can't keep it in. The ironic cheers from the Cardiff fans, but the mood of the Chelsea supporters can't be good watching this. The 3,000 who've made the trip from West London tonight.
No, I've got to say it's been a very average performance by Chelsea, and dare I say it, I think they've been actually outplayed with the football. It's Cardiff who have caught the eye on how composed they've been on the build-up and playing through the thirds.
Very impressive Cardiff City so far tonight, just lacking a goal for their efforts. We're in the 42nd minute. Chambers has raced forward with the ball up to the midway point of the Chelsea half. Little flick by Turnbull. Now then, here's the opportunity. Davis in the box, robbed of possession by Acheampong. Good work by the Chelsea defender coming across, but Cardiff win it back. Turnbull, 25 yards out, works it wide here to Kian Ashford. 3 in the middle to aim at. Ashford goes on the outside of Harto and actually forgets to take the ball with him. It's a goal kick.
Yeah, that's probably the Achilles heel of Cardiff. They've just been short of that little bit of creation. They've done brilliant to get into areas around the last third, and then that little bit of a finish quality one-on-one to go past somebody is just lacking slightly.
Manchester City against Brentford, and the holders Newcastle against Fulham. Live on the network tomorrow. Our commentaries are available on DAB Plus, 10:89 and 10:53 AM, and on our free app. Just click on the Live Games tab in the bottom right corner of the app. Gittins for Chelsea has played the ball square to Harto, back to Caicedo, pass for Chelsea, but not doing a great deal with the ball. Forward by Acheampong, high up the inside right. Gio is going to chase this. Out comes Trott, miles out of his goal, belts it upfield. Good goalkeeping. Header away by Acheampong. Done nothing wrong in the game, Trott, so far, but he might have some work to do in a moment because Chelsea are coming forward again. Buonanotte just ran into Colwill. I don't understand that. Winkle, just outside the centre circle, has rolled the ball on the angle to the right-hand side, and G back to the feet of Lawler. Lawler slows the game down. 90 seconds of the first half to go, plus whatever's added on, if anything. Winkle for Cardiff City, 0-0 here. Ashford is on the right-hand side towards the corner of the area. He's got infield. He tried to smuggle it between two Chelsea players, couldn't do that, so he looks back out wide to Ng. Gittins didn't win the 50-50. Maresca's way out of his technical area here as he tries to get a little more out of these Chelsea players. Lawler has smuggled it beyond Caicedo, just about, nearly through to Robinson. Badiashile, terrible ball. Turnbull with the shot, and it's wide. Well, maybe Turnbull should have made more of that. Not scored in over a year. And that sloppy pass from Badiashile ultimately goes unpunished.
Yeah, it did. As say, poor place to give the ball away. But Turnbull's got to do a lot better than that. It's that little bit of stardust that they're lacking at the moment. Is the icing on the cake for this performance that has been outstanding by Cardiff.
Well, they've got their top scorer on the bench, Cardiff. Youssef Salek is on the bench tonight. Given away by Chelsea again. This time Caicedo, and then a trip by Harto. Foul by Harto on Ashford. Now, is that going to be a yellow card? The Cardiff fans are baying for a yellow, and it is a yellow for Harto, and you can hear the cheers. And a free kick to Cardiff City in a very dangerous position right at the end of the first half, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, referee bowed to peer pressure there, I think. The whole of the most of the stadium were suggesting, hang on, you've already given a yellow card against one of ours, even it up, fella.
I think even the Chelsea fans would have thought that was probably a booking. But here come Cardiff with plenty in blue, forward inside the penalty area. A minute of added time at the end of the first half. Cardiff City 0, Chelsea 0. League Cup quarter-final live on Talksport. This is a big moment. Bacon is standing over the free kick, and there are plenty forward here. Bacon delivers high, left-footed. Chambers with the header, gathered by Jorgensen.
Great ball in there by Bacon. Just curled it beautifully, like a left-back playing a ball up the channel. Just curled it inside. Callum Chambers just coming in at the far post there. Chelsea wouldn't have been happy if that ended up in the back of the net.
Well, that one added minutes at the end of the first half. We are most of the way through it now. And Chelsea with some work to do in the second half, though it is still 0-0. Jorgensen blasts the ball up the middle, and G gets there in front of Gittins and turns away with confidence from him. And G steers the ball up over the halfway line, well controlled by Ashford on his chest. Cardiff will feel they've been more than a match for Chelsea in the first half as the half-time whistle blows. And listen to the reaction of the home supporters. Chelsea lacklustre, and Cardiff looking to capitalise upon that. One big chance for the home team. Isaac Davis's deflected low cross, turned away by Jorgensen. At the other end, Guiu denied by Trott. But Cardiff have belied their league position. You wouldn't be able to tell. There were two divisions between the two clubs. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0.
Well, the Cardiff City Stadium Roses want to salute the League One side, and rightly so. They've been the better side, but it is 0-0. Chelsea players really interesting at the end of the half there, Stuart. They all waited by the touchline so they could go down the tunnel and into the dressing room as a group. I haven't seen that very often. Wonder why that was.
No reason. I don't see anything. There was no chat amongst the players at all. They just hung around and went down together. But listen, they'll be disappointed with their performance, Aid. It's not been good, Chelsea. I think they've been outplayed by a very good Cardiff side.
Yeah, I agree with that. And let's just salute Brian Barry Murphy in Cardiff. They won only 9 league games last season. They had 3 different managers. It was chaotic. It was awful. They finished bottom of the championship. And in the summer, he's got a squad together of a lot of youngsters, a couple of experienced players. And boy, do they play some good football. He's coaching them well and giving them confidence at the same time. It's a masterclass in coaching and management, isn't it?
Yeah, they're very well organised. They've gone man for man and very aggressive on the press, that is for sure. Leaving players one-on-one on the halfway line. They dealt with that to Chelsea's detriment. And to be honest with you, they've been superb. Their decision-making, some of these young players in the Cardiff lineup, Lawler especially, 19 years old, playing central defence. On the ball, he's so composed, never hurried. He's concise with his passing. His defensive work's been outstanding.
Yeah, they do pass it well. You spotted early on that they're not a big side. Yusuf Salek, by the way, if he comes on, is 6'4", so that may change the way they play. But they play some good football, and I think everybody plays their part in that. So Ashford on the right-hand side, really interesting how he's played, and he's right in front of us. We can see exactly what he's doing. They all know their roles. Perry and G, who came through at Crewe and has got that heritage of knowing how to play football, but executing it very well tonight. They've just got some really good footballers who know the plan and are executing the plan.
Yeah, exactly. They're a very well organised team. They play a lot of good football in what they're doing. The only thing that would be a concern for me if I was in the Cardiff ranks at the moment, if there's a change up front, and I think the front three have been really poor for Chelsea. When they have sort of drawn the press on and played beyond it, they've never retained one yet, and that's credit to Cardiff. I think if they make changes and Garnacho comes on and João Pedro, might be a different matter. They got to guard against that.
Yeah, I want to talk to you about Gittins for Chelsea. He's coming from Dortmund. I think there were high hopes. Hasn't really made any kind of impression. And on a night like tonight, he should be using a game like this against a team 2 divisions below as a confidence boost. He should be going out there, grabbing this game by the scruff of the neck, coming off as the star man, having won the game virtually single-handedly for Chelsea. I've seen nothing from him.
No, that would be a fair assessment, to be fair. He's been supplied with the ball on several occasions. He's not been able to get past the fullback. I've got to say, Ashford's doubled up on occasion, which has helped out. But he's never even looked like he's going to go past his fullback, which is a problem. And when they have gone from back to front, he's not read things or read flick-ons at all, or even won the first header or held the ball up. So he should be disappointed with that performance.
Joel Bagan at left back I really like. He got the winner at the weekend, and he was driving forward. He was actually taking the game to Doncaster, trying to secure that winner. He's got forward again tonight, but defensively he looks really good, the left back.
Yeah, he does. As I say, fantastic block early in the first half where he was second favourite by a mile to get there, and he's got there, put a great block on. And as I say, they've dealt with a wide threat of Chelsea, and that is what makes Chelsea's performance look that poor.
Sure, I'll leave you with a little teaser as we go into half-time. Nathan Trott, who's so good with his feet, he even saved one with his feet as well. Nickname is Trotsky, which was just fantastic, but he doesn't know who Trotsky was. There is a Talksport presenter who, at the World Cup in Russia, was asked if he wanted to see Lenin's body in the mausoleum in Red Square in Moscow. No, he said, and he then asked why John Lennon was buried in Moscow.
That's got the hallmarkings of Gabby written all over it.
It isn't Gabby Agbonlor. It could be Gabby.
It could be Gabby.
It is not Gabby Agbonlor. I'll leave that one hanging. You can have your guesses. I may tell you, I may not. We are in the midst of a Carabao Cup quarter-final, and Cardiff of League One have played really well. Chelsea haven't, but it's goalless. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0 is the score at half-time, live on Talksport.
Kick off on Talksport with Ladbrokes. 18plusgambleaware.org.
As 2026 approaches, imagine kicking off the new year with a life-changing amount of cash. Because on the 9th of January 2026, one listener will walk away with a massive £26,000 guaranteed. Go to talksport.com/win now to find out how to enter, and you could win 26k for 2026.
Incredible, thank you very much.
Talksport.com/win. This is a Talksport limited competition run on Talksport Talk and Virgin Radio UK stations. See talksport.com for terms and conditions.
Fans covered with tables and slots. Get free spins, bonus wins, and daily jackpots. Play blackjack and poker from the comfort of home. Hit a Vegas casino with one tap of your phone. Sign up is easy on all your devices. Exclusive promotions and bet boosted prices. In the know, punters are sharing this tip. Get the king of the app pack. Talksport bet, it's a hit.
18plusgambleaware.org.
At Vodafone, you can save up to £1,032 with the Samsung Galaxy S25 FE when you trade in an eligible phone. And keep you and your family connected this Christmas. Hurry! Offer ends the 17th of December. So, go online or in-store today. Vodafone.
Save £576 on 5GB airtime over 36 months. £144 on phone and £312 with trade-in. Phone cost is £534. Credit and trade-in checks and terms apply. Financed by Vodafone.
At Lidl, get the best value this Christmas when you're carving up a storm. We won't be beaten on price with our Birchwood fresh British whole turkeys. In store from the 19th of December. Now that's what we call a showstopper. Lidl. More to value.
Selected products price matched in most major UK supermarkets until 24th of the 12th. See lidl.co.uk/LPTV while stocks last. Exclusions apply.
Calling all spinners. Join Sky Vegas, the online casino, where we offer new players 50 free spins to use in your first 7 days, and 200 more when you deposit and spend £10 within 30 days, all with no wagering required. You love a good spin? We love a good spin. Sky Vegas. Play. It's why we're here. 18 plus free spins loaded on first eligible game. Game and eligibility restrictions and further T's and C's apply. BeGambleAware.org.
We got it at Selco.
Why do the trade go to Selco Builders Warehouse? Maybe it's because it's now quicker and easier to always pay less for your materials. We've lowered the prices on 357 building products you buy most often. And it's our price pledge to keep them low. Always lower prices on blocks, aggregates, plaster and plasterboard, timber, insulation and much more. See price cut prices at your local Selco today.
It's where the trade goes.
See in store for details.
What you got here for us then, young Egon?
It's Talksport's live football, Governor. Where do you want it?
Bleeding hell, it's humongous. Right, take them 110 live Premier League exclusives and knob them over there with the 150 EFL fixtures.
Oh, geezer.
Plank them live Community Shields and Super Cups over by the Virtue Trophy games. And I think, Egon, that's us done it.
Hear over 500 games of live football on Talksport and Talksport 2.
What's in this trailer, Governor? Governor.
Hells, bells. It's another 100 2026 World Cup games.
Blooming heck.
Tell you what, shove a top on them and stick them in your brother's locker. Yeah.
King of football commentary. Kick-off live on Talksport.
Well, you can see why Cardiff City are top of League One, but you can see why they're not ahead in this cup tie. They need a finisher. They need something a little bit special up front. Maybe it'll come off the bench with top scorer Yusuf Salek. Is he about to come on? We shall see. We'll let you know on Talksport. It's Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0, Carabao Cup quarter final. One of the festive 50 live games across the month of December on the Talksport network. We've also got live darts on the Talksport network as well. An update from the PDC World Championships in Ali Pali. Ian Danter.
Well, a very intriguing match in progress right now between two Dutchmen. Danny Noppert, seeded 6th at these championships and one of the dark horses for the tournament, took the first set comfortably enough against Jurjen van der Velde on debut here at Ali Pali, but van der Velde has just taken out a 109 and hit 5 out of 7 at doubles to level it up at 1 set apiece in a race to 3 sets to get through to round 2. Early this evening, Ricardo Pietreczko, Pikachu, the German, saw off Jose de Souza, who looks like he's going to lose his tour card, 3-1 to Pietreczko. And later this evening, Gerwin Price, another of the highly fancied players at this tournament, takes on the Czech Adam Gavlas in a best-of-5 encounter. All the action continues, Adrian, on the TalkSport Darts YouTube channel, the TalkSport app, and over on TalkSport 2 at Ali Pali.
PDC World Darts Championship update on Talksport with Village Hotels. Hit the bullseye this Christmas with a darty party at Village. Enjoy flights of festive fun with our interactive darts lanes, available at locations across the UK.
Well, tomorrow live on TalkSport we'll bring you 2 more EFL Cup quarter-finals. Man City against Brentford is on TalkSport, kicks off at 7:30. On TalkSport 2, 8:15 kick-off, Newcastle against Fulham. I'll be at St James's Park for that. The Magpies boss Eddie Howe has had to defend himself from some criticism from fans after their defeat to North East rivals Sunderland last Sunday.
You know, in a game like that, if you don't perform and you don't get a positive result, criticism is naturally going to follow. It's part of the industry that we're in. But then what you do with that, from my view, is the key thing. And as I say, I'm aware of it. You know it's there, but you don't absorb yourself with it. You absorb yourself with the football and what we could do better and what we need to do better, and to help the players, not anything else, to better performances on a more consistent basis.
Eddie Howe, Newcastle against Fulham tomorrow live on TalkSport 2. And having lost, Stuart, listen, you played for Newcastle, having lost to Sunderland in the big derby at the weekend, and I think most Newcastle fans will say probably didn't play as well as they would have hoped. They're in the bottom half of the table. The away form isn't brilliant. Is it right that maybe there's a few questions being asked by Newcastle fans of Eddie Howe?
I think that would be unfair. I really do. But they would be expected to be further up the food chain at this stage of the season, it's fair to say. I expect a reaction from that performance. It was a big game, you know, that the derby game's a big game, and I think Sunderland played extremely well in that game. That will disappoint them. There's a level of inconsistency there this season with Newcastle that we didn't see last year.
Yeah, on that game, what I noticed in particular was Sunderland's ferocious tackling, but a lack of a response from Newcastle in terms of the tackling. It's almost like they said, well, Sunderland can carry on doing that, we're not going to go down that route, and ultimately it led to Newcastle losing the game. It was a derby, and I thought it was refereed superbly, by the way, by Peter Banks. I think he let stuff go because it was a derby. That, to me, is how I want derbies to be refereed. And Sunderland took full advantage of that, and Newcastle just didn't kind of step up to the plate. They didn't join that derby party, did they? And that'll disappoint the fans.
Yeah, as I say, you know what derby games are like. They're ferocious affairs, and you've got to almost fight fire with fire. And Sunderland, credit to them, they done exactly that. And I remember going to watch Newcastle a year and a half ago, it must have been, and how they pressed the opposition, and the aggression in their press was the one thing that really made me sit up and say, what a way to play. They were fantastic on the counter-attack. but when they lost the ball, well, to a man, they were flying into challenges, and probably they've lost that little bit of about their play.
Do you feel like it would take, say, the game against Fulham tomorrow in the Carabao Cup, just say they put in a sparkling performance, they win it comfortably, it gives everybody that little bit more confidence? It could be something like that kick-starts their season.
Well, I think the game's a big one tomorrow. I really do. They're favourites going into the game. Fulham are no mugs, by the way. They've got the ability to turn a result round on this one. I think if they do get beat in the game, there'll be a fair bit of discontent on the back of the game at Sunderland and going out of a cup competition that they're the holders of, in a game that they thought, when they got drawn at home to Fulham, you think, that's not a bad draw at this stage of any competition.
No, absolutely right. I spoke to a Newcastle fan who said Eddie Howe's legacy and reputation at Newcastle is intact. He's won that trophy that they've desired for so long, but now it's time to move on. He can't take us to the next level. It felt, when I heard it felt a little bit unfair. I knew where he was coming from, but it felt a little bit unfair.
Yeah, it was fair to say. I mean, that trophy victory, you saw what it done to Newcastle. That place is a hotbed of football. It's a brilliant place to play your football and to be part of that. But they need to keep growing on it. If you don't keep growing on it, all of a sudden, look, they've had a taste of the promised land with the silverware. They want a bit more.
Want to know the Talksport presenter? By the way, there were a couple of guesses. The Talksport presenter who, when asked if he wanted to see Lenin's body in the mausoleum in Red Square in Moscow, said no, and then asked why John Lennon was buried in Moscow. You guessed...
I guessed Gabby.
Gabby, it wasn't Gabby.
My second guess will be Gabby as well, actually.
Gabby will be delighted. There was another colleague of ours who guessed Andy Goldstein. I think that's so high. How harsh is that?
That's tough.
I mean,
I named 7 after Gabby as well.
Do we want to know who it was? Should I reveal who?
Definitely.
Darren Goff was the culprit, I'm afraid to say. Joe mentioned that League Cup win for Cardiff against the Chelsea side that featured Pat Nevin and Kerry Dixon in 1986. Well, Cardiff were a 4th-tier side then, and later in that same season, a teenage ginger dirtbag travelled across the country to watch his team win 1-0 at Ninian Park. I celebrated that late winner from Noel Luke wildly, a rare posh away win. So I've been to Ninian Park. This stadium is slightly better, and it may well witness something very special in the second half. It's goalless, but Cardiff have done very well in that first half. Can they match it and more in the second? Live on Talksport, it's Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0. Here's your second half with Stuart Pearce and Joe Shannon.
And the game resumes. Cardiff from right to left in the second half in the royal blue and white, and Chelsea in their change kit of white and dark green, playing from left. Had to do that, really, given the way Chelsea played. Mark Guillot and Tyrick George are the two who've come on. João Pedro is on through the middle, as is Alejandro Garnacho. So it's 0-0 on Talksport. Chelsea go back to Tosin on the edge of his own penalty area, and now the ball is at the feet of goalkeeper Jorgensen. I'll give you the two sides in full in just a moment, as Chelsea thunder the ball high up the middle, but it's well controlled by Perry and G, who, under a little bit of pressure from Buonanotte, is going to tuck the ball out to Wintle. And now on the halfway line, Joel Colwill for Cardiff City. So Cardiff have Trott in goal, and G, Lawler, Chambers and Bagan, the left back, on the ball now. Wintle and Turnbull, Colwill, Ashford and Davis in support of Robinson up front in the League Cup quarter-final. And now Cardiff trying to play out from the back. Trott, the goalkeeper, into the feet of Lawler. Chelsea pressing high. Lawler hammers it long. Well controlled by Colwill on that far side, the right. Hassled and harried by Moises Caicedo. Cardiff still under pressure here. Colwill has poked it forward, and now Ashford does well to win a throw. Quick look at the Chelsea team then. Jorgensen in goal. Achampong, Tosin, Badiashile and Harto. Caicedo and Andre Santos. Garnacho, Buonanotte and Giddens behind João Pedro. Chelsea have made the double change. Will it make the difference, Stuart Pearce?
Well, put it this way, it's got to be better than what we've just seen. Gayu was for me really, really poor, and the tactic that they're trying to do now is to move João Pedro from when Jorgensen's got the ball. João Pedro come under the ball, and that enabled Garnacho to come off the flank and try and get on that ball, the straight ball into the space that João Pedro's left. But at the moment, they've certainly, and Jai has dealt with it really well.
Plenty of the Cardiff fans still returning to their seats early on in the second half here. Chelsea have it with toss-in, early 10-yard ball up towards Buonanotte, just shy of the halfway line. Robbed of possession by Isaac Davis. A tenacity about Cardiff City, an energy about Cardiff City, and a quality on the ball about Cardiff City as they win a free kick just inside the Chelsea half, away towards the left. 2.5 minutes have been played in the second half. It's Cardiff 0, Chelsea 0 on Talksport. We've got both 2 of the 3 remaining quarter-finals tomorrow. Manchester City against Brentford, Newcastle against Fulham, and the other is on the 23rd of December. So next Tuesday for Arsenal against Crystal Palace. Make sure you download our free app. That's the best way to be across all of the live football. 50 live games in the month of December alone. And no real change to the pattern of play in the very early stages of the second half just yet. I don't think João Pedro's had a touch, and Garnacho is yet to have a meaningful one either. Chambers for Cardiff, about 20-30 yards in front of our commentary position, which is just behind the Chelsea boss Enzo Maresca. Long goes Bagan, header away by Achampong for Chelsea. Achampong will slice the ball up into the air, and that's going to drift out of play for a Cardiff throw. And what has been so impressive in part about Cardiff City so far, Stuart, is that they've played their game, they've played their football, they haven't changed their way to accommodate or show respect to Chelsea.
No, they certainly haven't. They've gone really tight, they've gone man to man, they've not been in awe of them in any way, shape or form. And dare we say it, they probably outplayed them at this moment with the ball at their feet.
Had the better chances, or come closest perhaps, with that effort from Davis that took a deflection in the first half. Harto back to Badiashile for Chelsea. Harto just dropping into that inverted role in the middle of midfield when Chelsea had possession. Achampong slips and Davis wins it back momentarily for Cardiff. It's scooped over the top by Chambers. Turnbull knocks it left hand side to Davis. 2 in the middle for Cardiff City. Davis, left corner of the penalty area, plays it across to Wintle, who's a long way out. Wintle nudges it wide out to the far side, the right. Ashford for Cardiff, back to Wintle, first time cross, thundered away on the body by Badiashile. No great quality on the delivery from Wintle. Now Lawler in a foot race with the speedy João Pedro, beats him to it and manages to find Wintle. Full marks to Lawler against Stuart Pearce.
That's an understatement. I'll tell you what, if I was scouting for a football club now, well, put it this way, Chelsea are here tonight watching him. You can't fail to be impressed by this performance by the young man.
Well, 19 years of age and a young talent with plenty of potential, it would seem. A bunch of fans in blue Santa hats have just taken their seats down below us on the near side of the field. Here come Cardiff with Colwill, middle of the park, spreads it wide to the right-hand side. Ashford is onto it. Ashford with the cross shot, and it's gathered by Jorgensen at the near post. And Chelsea have not really stepped it up early on in the second half. It's still 0-0, but the atmosphere is terrific here at Cardiff City Stadium. And Cardiff increasingly, you sense, believe they can reach the semi-finals tonight.
Yep, they certainly can on the run of play at this moment in time. They're just short of that little bit of cutting edge, as I said, at the front of their team, maybe. But they're certainly well and truly in this game.
Well, they've got their top scorer, Youssef Salek, on the bench, have Cardiff City, should they need him. Chelsea have got plenty of extra quality among their subs as well. The likes of Enzo Fernandez, Pedro Neto and Reece James still on the Chelsea bench. Little touch, glancing blow by João Pedro, back to Buonanotte, who surges over the halfway line here. Down the middle, Buonanotte has got Garnacho to the left. Garnacho can't reach the ball, intercepted by NG. Cleared away by Lawler. Been careless on the ball, really, Buonanotte in the game. But here comes Caicedo, poking it up to João Pedro and getting it back. Works it wide to Gittins, right corner of the penalty area. Gittins now with the weaving feet. Back to Caicedo. Onto his left foot. Low shot, well blocked. Wintle in the way. Caicedo, we know, is always dangerous from the edge of the penalty area. 0-0 on Talksport. A little more open now, the game. Gittins shimmies infield, hits a left-footed shot, that's turned away, and then hammered further clear up to the halfway line by Ng for Cardiff City. And for Chelsea, for the moment, the chance is gone.
Yeah, as I say, some really good blocks in there. Chelsea just threatened at the time, just maybe to open the goal up a little bit, but a couple of efforts that they tried to get away were blocked really, really well.
Nearly, but not quite for Chelsea. That was better from the 5 times League Cup winners. Long ball thundered downfield by Jorgensen, header away by Ng, drops down to João Pedro, and he's out-muscled in the middle of the park by Wintle, who gets back again with a firm but fair challenge. And João Pedro has gone to ground and has stayed down. Is he holding the side of his face? He slowly gets up, trudges up, and Cardiff come away with possession. It's Chambers on the ball. On the halfway line, this is Talksport. Chambers blocked off by Buonanotte. Danger here. Chelsea on the counter. Buonanotte raiding down the near side of the right. Early ball in Garnacho. Good save by Trox. Good stop low to his left-hand side. Garnacho with the first-time effort. Out of play in the end for a Chelsea corner.
Yeah, as I say, Chambers just got caught over playing a little bit. He was looking for the pass that wasn't on. And all of a sudden, 2 players converged on him, lost possession of the ball, and the ball across. Garnacho, good effort, but Trott was equal to it.
And Trott right behind it, and standing over it is Buonanotte. Plenty forward in the white shirts of Chelsea, everybody back in the blue of Cardiff. Dinked in by Buonanotte, looping header by Caicedo, straight up into the air. I think he was trying to flick it on there, Caicedo, ended up diverting it away from goal. Back in by Harto, cleared upfield by Cardiff. Chasing is Robinson from inside his own half, and Robinson has won it back off a rather tentative Caicedo for once. Held up by Turnbull momentarily. Buonanotte gets in front of him, and it's won back here by Chelsea. 0-0, nearly 10 minutes into the second half, and Cardiff are readying a couple of substitutions, it looks like. Barry Murphy, the head coach, is getting ready to make some changes. One of them is the top scorer, Salek. He's going to come on.
Yeah, it's interesting, making really early changes. It's been a side of Cardiff's play that's been lacking slightly, that punch at the front of the team to back up all the good football.
Chelsea now on the attack with Garnacho. It is a much more open start to the second half. Garnacho raiding infield, low ball into João Pedro. Tees up Caicedo with the shot. Well blocked. It'll drop out to Gittins. Gittins on the corner of the penalty area now. And it's knocked out wide to Gittins again by Andre Santos. Gittins into the area, darts one way and then the other, and then the clearance by Bagan hits Chambers, deflects out of play for another corner to Chelsea.
Well, what they've done, Cardiff, they've got block after block after block in this last 5 minutes or so.
Well, here come the Cardiff changes. Robinson is coming off, and here comes the 11-goal top scorer, Yusuf Salek, a Danish player. 4 goals in his last 4 appearances. So that's the first Cardiff City change as we wait for Chelsea to take the corner. 0-0 it remains. And the other player to come on is going to be Chris Willock. Younger brother Joe plays for Newcastle. He's a talented footballer, Chris Willock. Looked good at QPR, at least for a short spell in his time there. And he is going to replace Isaac Davis. So double change here for Cardiff City, Stuart.
Yeah, as I say, both teams now run the changes and thrown players on that they think can influence the game and win the game.
Well, are Chelsea going to make the breakthrough? 3,000 away fans to our right-hand side, taking up half of the Grange end. And they're on their feet as Chelsea take the corner short. Buonanotte back to Gittins, and Gittins square to Harto. Harto into the penalty area. Caicedo dives onto it, hooks it into the path of Garnacho, and the low shot blocked by Chambers. Scooped away from danger by Colwell. Look at Jorgensen inside his own half of the field, only just in the centre circle. He's juggled the ball up into the air, and he's made a total mess of the clearance as Jorgensen.
Yeah, he certainly didn't look comfortable at all being that far out of his goal. And Hato there just I think there was an obstruction in there by the Chelsea defender.
All given away, and now it's 3 against 1. Buonanotte through to Garnacho, in on goal, finds the goal. Chelsea lead, and Cardiff punished for the defensive error. Seized upon by Alejandro Garnacho. He celebrates in front of the Chelsea fans, and the Premier League side are in front in South Wales. Lawler, who's been so impressive throughout the game so far, it was his mistake, gave it straight to Buonanotte. He found Garnacho, and the Argentine tucked it away very nicely. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1.
This is the learning curve you have as a young player. Lawler's been magnificent. He's given the ball away really cheaply in a poor area. It was 2-on-1. He's outnumbered, and Garnacho finished with aplomb.
And it was a clever finish, wasn't it? Because the angle was tight, drew Trott, and then rolled it past him in off the post, Stuart.
Yeah, it looked a really composed finish. Chelsea not created a great deal prior to that, but the bottom line is when they've got the power that they have on the bench to change the game, you always know they're a threat.
And that goal has come shortly before the hour mark, and it leaves the Chelsea fans raucous away to the right-hand side. Garnacho with his third Chelsea goal, and they are heading for the semi-finals as it stands live on Talksport. Cardiff with some work to do, but Chelsea have stepped it up a gear against their League One opponents, and can Cardiff City respond? It's going to be very tough for them now. Bagan for Cardiff. Throw up the left-hand channel. Header away by Achampong, and now Andre Santos back to Badiashile. Badiashile alone inside his own penalty area. Ponderous on the ball at walking pace here, Badiashile. Hoists it high downfield. João Pedro beaten in the air by Lawler. João Pedro didn't really even jump for that. Turnbull loses out in the middle of midfield, and maybe Chelsea are starting to show their quality now. Away at Newcastle next, Chelsea. Live on Talksport on Saturday lunchtime. Everton against Arsenal on Saturday night. Leeds against Crystal Palace on Talksport 2, as is Southampton against Coventry on game day on Saturday. Well, Chelsea are in control now, aren't they, Stuart Pearce?
Yeah, they are, but you've got to feel sorry for Cardiff and Lawler, really. It's a game of concentration now, and they've got to make sure they steady the ship if they can, Cardiff.
João Pedro with a shot that is blocked. It's dropped to Buonanotte on the edge of the area. Buonanotte, left-footed corner! Just over the top. I think Trott's got a touch on that. It's a corner.
It's a magnificent save, I've got to say. He's opened the goal up brilliantly there, Buonanotte, and just curled it into the far corner with pace. And Trott, we're just having a look at the replay on that, has got a magnificent right hand to it.
And he clawed it away, didn't he, the goalkeeper? Because it's come at him from a short distance away, and great fizz on the shot from Buonanotte.
Yeah, it was good power, and as I say, just that right hand reached up as it was dipping under the bar.
1-0 to Chelsea it remains in the quarter-final of the League Cup. The corner is taken short, and then chipped back to Andre Santos, who nudges the ball into the penalty area. I think they were trying something off the training ground there, Chelsea, but whatever it was, it didn't come off. And Trott can throw the ball out overarm to the near side. And Bagan, not lost many games so far this season. Cardiff City, top of League One, but they trail at home to Chelsea by a 0-0. And some of the sort of sting in the atmosphere is gone since that Chelsea opening goal. We've been playing for an hour on Talksport. The ball is back with Cardiff City, and Wintle, and now Lawler. The socks rolled all the way down towards his ankles. Lawler to Turnbull, and now Chambers out to the left-hand side. Bagan is there. Bagan's touch on towards Willock. Willock through the legs of the defender finds Turnbull. Back out wide to Willock again. 10 yards from the corner flag. Good football by Cardiff City, but as Stuart has been saying, they really have lacked a cutting edge in the final third, and that has stopped them maybe from threatening to produce a shock tonight.
Yeah, it's been the one thing missing. I've got to say that some of their football and their build-up play has been magnificent, the way they've dealt with the threat of Chelsea in the main, and it's only been a mistake really by this young man Lawler at the back that has cost them.
I wonder if we're going to see a couple more Chelsea subs shortly. I think Pedro Neto is certainly looking like he's getting ready to come on. Cardiff have the ball on the halfway line with the tall number 3 Bagan. Back now to Chambers, and Cardiff can't afford to concede again, otherwise they're surely going out of the competition. Salek, the top scorer, beaten by Tostin, but it's half won back by NG in the middle of the Chelsea half. He was a bit unlucky there. The ball spun into the path of Andre Santos, and he will roll it all the way back to Jorgensen. Cardiff from right to left in the second half towards the traditional home end, the Canton end, which is on its feet away to the left. And Adrian was right to mention Ninian Park at half-time. That was certainly a more fearsome place to go to than the Cardiff City Stadium, but there is still a great atmosphere that can be generated here for club and for international fixtures. Chambers for Cardiff.
They'll generate an atmosphere if they can get a goal back as well, that is for sure.
Oh, they will. It's not done yet while it's still 1-0. Now Lawler playing the ball out of defence, and effectively this time, here is Bagan to Willock. Willock on halfway for Cardiff, shuffles infield. Willock has been blocked off by Andre Santos. Good run by Garnacho ahead of him. Garnacho is going to get there before Trott. Out comes Trott, slides it, uses his feet to make a good challenge, and once again credit to the goalkeeper.
Yeah, great decision making there. He didn't want to go with his hands. He thought there might be a penalty. He judged the situation and then just went in with a slide tackle.
And we're going to see a double change for Chelsea. Malo Gusto, who scored his second senior goal at the weekend, is stripped and ready to come on in the white shirts of Chelsea. Now Chris Willock with a cross into the area for Cardiff. It's up into the air by Tossin. It lands on the edge of the box, high up into that dark night sky. It really wasn't a convincing clearance by Tossin, and Cardiff have won it back up the pitch. Willock out on the left-hand side, 64th minute, 1-0 down. Willock's cross wins a corner off Acheampong. Cardiff are still in it, just about, while it's 1-0.
Yeah, well, it's 1-0. They're more than in the game. They're playing with confidence still. They're still knocking it around, and it's just that cutting edge, that one-on-one ability to go past somebody that's slightly lacking at present.
Well, maybe a set piece in that case is going to be the best route to goal. Chambers and Lawler are both forward. Bagan is going to take the corner. Bagan in front of the Cardiff fans, who are all on their feet behind the goal. Cardiff 0, Chelsea 1 on Talksport. Bagan drills it low. Willock with a shooting chance, trying to whip it to the far corner, headed away by Moises Caicedo. There was no power on that really from Willock.
No, there wasn't. It's really well worked, you know.
They weren't expecting it, Chelsea, were they, at all? Wintle is a long way out as the referee nearly stumbles over. Turnbull locks it wide left. Bagan with a chance to cross. That's a good ball. Here comes Jorgensen, punches it away. Does really well, the goalkeeper, through a crowd. Thought he wasn't going to get there at first, but he turns it away and it's a Cardiff throw.
Yeah, Jorgensen's gone down. He thinks he's had a knock on the head. Yeah, better from Cardiff there. Good ball into the box. But the goalkeeper done particularly well, I think. Just clawed it away. Not for a throw-in.
Well, Gusto is coming on, so too Pedro Neto. Let's go to Ali Pali, get the latest from the darts with Talksport's Mark Wilson.
Danny Noppert safely through his beaten fellow countryman Jeroen van der Velde by 3-1. Took out the ball to win the third set to lead 2-1. Then a break at 1-3-5. He wrapped it up in style. Brilliant from Noppert. He's through. Going Price, 2021 champion. He's live on Talksport 2 now.
Well, Chelsea have made a double change here. Malo Gusto and Pedro Neto onto the field for Buonanotte and Gittins, and that's a measure of the respect that Enzo Maresca is giving to these Cardiff City players here. Jorgensen is back on his feet. It's 1-0 to Chelsea. We are just about midway through the second half on Talksport, and there's going to be a Cardiff throw on the far side. So it really is, isn't it, Stuart, a measure that Maresca is concerned that this game is far from over.
Yeah, that is the case, and I've got to say, all these substitutions are not for resting purposes. Everyone who's come off the pitch, I think, not played particularly well, basically, in a Chelsea shirt.
You'd have to say that. The second string given their chance, and they haven't really earned it so far tonight, Chelsea. Cardiff still in the tie, just about. Semi-finals of the League Cup at stake. Out on the left is Willock for Cardiff City. Back now to Chambers, 10 yards into the Chelsea half. And now Lawler. It's a good playing surface, this, at the Cardiff City Stadium, particularly for this time of year. Bagan out on the near side of the field in front of Brian Barry Murphy, the head coach, watching on in his navy blue tracksuit. Is there hope of a Cardiff recovery? Having a decent spell here, Cardiff, on the ball. Chelsea a bit passive. Good diagonal ball by Chambers out to the right. Kian Ashford is onto it. And G with the overlapping run. Ashford scampers infield. Little back heel to Colwill. Colwill can't sort his feet out in time. And he does commit the foul on Harto. For a moment there, I thought he might have got to the ball. But in fairness to the referee, Tony Harrington was looking right at it. He was only a few yards away. It is a free kick to Chelsea.
Yeah, I thought it was a tough call, that one. Referee closer than I am, but Chelsea are happy to keep possession of the ball, I think.
It was very tight, wasn't it? As Craig Bellamy, the Wales manager, watches on here at the Cardiff City Stadium tonight. And some of these Cardiff youngsters, I'm sure, will end up Wales senior internationals before too long. Some of them already are.
Yeah, no doubt about that. It's certainly not been a wasted journey from his behalf as an international manager, that is for sure.
And Cardiff had possession. It's with Wintle. Wintle high over the top, straight out of play. Game of very few chances with just over 20 minutes to go. And I guess Cardiff are hoping, Stuart, that they can just get one, maybe try and force a penalty shootout at the very end.
Yeah, they'll be still hopeful. They're playing with confidence. They're knocking the ball around. They're quite comfortable in possession. It's just that little bit of cutting edge is really hanging them back at the moment. And Chelsea are just quite happy seeing the storm out, knowing full well that any one-on-one scenarios they can deal with.
Malo Gusto taking up a midfield position. Back to toss-in. We mentioned Craig Bellamy. Wales in the playoffs for the World Cup next March. Every game of the World Cup will be live on the Talksport network from the USA, Canada and Mexico. And next summer, Cardiff nearly give the ball away. João Pedro beaten to it by Lawler in the 50-50. Nutmeg, Turnbull on Gusto, and he sets Salek away down the left-hand side. Salek has got tossing for company. Salek onto his right foot, left corner of the penalty area. He's still got it here, Salek. He chips in the cross, and Wintle was free at the far post, but he was beaten to it, headed away by Harto, and the crowd sit down as a collective again. Nearly, but not quite. Now it's with Chambers on the edge of the centre circle. Chambers wide left. Bagan is in a crossing position. Back in field it goes. Cardiff have held on to the ball here. Turnbull back to Wintle. Looked as though he was going to get space at the far post, but Harto, in fairness to him, made a good interception. 1-0 Chelsea lead. 20 minutes to go.
Yeah, as I say, why the game sits at this scoreline, Cardiff are always fancy their chances as the longer the game goes on.
There is still hope.
Yeah, and you just hope that the game isn't decided by a mistake by a young player that has been outstanding, really.
He has. And Dylan Lawler gave it away to Buonanotte, and he set up Garnacho, and that's the goal that separates the two sides. Bagan for Cardiff with an infield pass. Turnbull quickly on to Lawler, who's nudged it wide left. Willock now in a one-on-one with Achampong. He lays it square. Turnbull back towards Willock. Willock from the dead ball line crosses, and it's gathered by Jorgensen. I don't think it had gone out of play, but a simple take for the goalkeeper, who has bowled it out quickly to Gusto for Chelsea. He looks wide left, Garnacho, and Chelsea, who have not been very impressive at all, slow the game down. Remember, it's Manchester City against Brentford tomorrow, 7:30 on Talksport, 8:15 on 2 for Newcastle against Fulham. So do download our free Talksport app if you want to be across both matches. Chelsea go up the middle with Gusto, square to Andre Santos, back here into the penalty area for Malo Gusto, sets himself, and Bagan has rolled it just wide of his own net. That was so nearly an own goal. Goalkeeper Trott was beaten by his own player, and it just rolled apologetically half a yard beyond the post.
Well, Colwill's got back there to stop a really good Chelsea attack. They're about to pull the trigger, and then Bagan run onto the ball, couldn't sort his feet out in time, and well, time stopped in Cardiff, didn't it, for a split second?
surely he meant that, didn't he, Stuart? It was a simple clearance.
Well, it was certainly a simple clearance.
Here is Garnacho, reverse ball into the area. Moises Caicedo keeps his feet, tees up Andre Santos with a low drive deflected wide. It certainly wasn't a deliberate clearance from Bagan. He got so lucky. It will be another corner to Chelsea, and a second goal here will kill off the tie surely and send Chelsea into the semi-finals. They've lost in 3 League Cup finals of late, Chelsea. Twice against Liverpool, you might remember recently. A corner taken short by Neto, who rolls it back in the end to Malo Gusto now. Yoral Harto takes over Chelsea. Back wide to Pedro Neto. Infield it goes. Garnacho with a curling shot, deflected wide again. And this time throwing himself at it was the youngster Lawler. It came off his chest. Another Chelsea corner. They lead 1-0.
Yeah, as I say, they managed to get blocks on this. That's a feature of their game that they've done particularly well at in this game as well. Chelsea, when they have had shooting opportunities, have managed to get really good blocks in. And Chelsea are taking a short corner, and they put 5 players over to take a short corner in a short space in the area.
And now they're all going to go into the penalty area. Well, this is something that Chelsea have clearly worked on. They're now flooding the 6-yard box. Corner dinked in by Neto, flicked on by Tosin and headed over the top at the back post, the opposite side, by Colwill. It's another Chelsea corner, a third in succession, and now the Premier League team are really piling on the pressure on the League One side.
Yeah, they are, just overpowering them slightly, certainly with the height that they've got in the box as well. They outsize every man in there near enough.
The sports bar comes once we're done here at the Cardiff City Stadium. 03717 223344. Jason Cundy and Carlton Cole tonight on Talksport taking your calls. As the corner's drifted in by Pedro Neto. Tosin trying to meet it at the near post. Good header away by Salek this time for Cardiff City. It's come back out to Neto. We've got just over a quarter of an hour to go. Enzo Maresca watching on inside his technical area with his hands in his pockets. Chelsea on this chilly South Wales night doing enough at the moment to reach the semi-finals, but it's not completely convincing. Over the top by Harto. Garnacho will hair after it, but it's long beaten him, the flight of the ball. Overhit by Harto and out of play for a goal kick to Cardiff. How can Cardiff create the chance they need? I guess that's the problem. They haven't really created anything, Stu, in the second half, have they?
No, they're probably their best way forward potentially. Can they force a set play? And from that set play, maybe fashion something, a build-up, a ball to the edge of the box, something of that nature might be their best option.
Not happening for them at the moment, but they're hanging on in the game. And here comes Ashford away on the right-hand side. Colwill ahead of him. Ashford looks for Colwill. Right-wing position. Colwill on the corner of the penalty area. Back to Perry and G. Now Wintle. And G trying to get an angle for a cross away from the defender. He delivers and the header is in! Turnbull makes it 1-1! There you hear the Welsh Dragon roar! Cardiff are level in the quarter-final. What a noise in South Wales. Cardiff won, Chelsea won.
Well, another way, Joe, of getting a goal maybe is to build it up all the way up the pitch, lay it back, pop it in the box and be unmarked and head one in. Fantastic goal by Cardiff. We've got a game on our hands. They're not going to give up, and they don't deserve to either.
The Bluebirds have got themselves level, and Chelsea are pegged back. It's 1-1 almost out of nothing. Flying header from David Turnbull. He doesn't score many. It's his first in over a year.
I'll tell you what, that was awful defending. You look at the Chelsea ranks there, 2 central defenders stood like lampposts as Turnbull went through the middle of them unmarked and just guided it into the back of the net. Great team goal by Cardiff. And no less than they deserve, I believe.
Well, Tosin and Gusto stood watching, so did many others in the white shirts of Chelsea. We're level on Talksport, and Cardiff of League One were not to be denied. And who knows, can they go on and win it in 90 minutes? 14 to go. It's level. Turnbull with a great header. Out on the left-hand side, Chelsea have it, they lose the ball. Kian Ashford, over halfway for Cardiff City. Harto is back with him. Ashford has got Wintle on the overlap. Infield from Ashford to Colwill. Back towards Ashford, smuggled away. Now it drops for Lawler, the youngster. He must be feeling a great deal of relief, and I tell you what he deserves to for his performance. In by Wintle, header away. Chelsea look rattled now. Out to play by Badiashile. To me, Stuart Pearce, Chelsea don't look like they have the energy and the intensity for the fight at the moment.
Well, they've certainly not showed the stomach for the fight, I don't think, even though it's not been a physical encounter. Just the ability to go after the opposition and say, look, we play 2 leagues above you, you know what I mean? We're going to show you our class. Don't think they've done that. They've come here and the game's meandered along for them.
Turnbull has scored and it's 1-1. And they're fighting for a winner here, both teams. Chelsea go backwards, and it's driven long by Caicedo upfield. Lawler backpedaling. Excellent covering header. Square to Chambers. Really silky defensive play. Trot forward to Wintle. Risky ball. Straight to Pedro Neto. And João Pedro, the near post, beaten to it by the goalkeeper. Trot is hurt. He's holding his head. The referee stopped it. And Cardiff are lucky that it's still 1-1.
Well, I've got to say, really dangerous play there, playing out from the back, nearly cost them again, but that's the nature of the way they play. And when it was fired across the face of goal for Pedro, Trott was brave down to his right-hand side and just parried it away.
So Trott is going to slowly get to his feet, and now it's really raucous at the Cardiff City Stadium. They are delighted here with their leveller as Trott is treated 1-1. And of course, Stuart Pearce, no extra time at this stage of the League Cup. We're 11 minutes away from a shootout.
Yeah, as I say, I think that will suit Cardiff rather nicely. And I was expecting Adrian to give the gag there. What is Trotsky's injury? Is it an ice pick? And for those who know their history, they'll know exactly what I'm talking about.
Well, it's a relatively minimal injury for Trott. And they're showing replays of the Turnbull goal on the big screen again and again. Who would have expected him to pop up with a flying header to make it 1-1? And so while we wait for Trott to be treated, I think they're going to try and bring on Alex Robertson here, Cardiff, the former Manchester City midfielder. Robertson is ready to go in the blue. And is Trott going to be okay here, Stuart? Is he going to be able to carry on?
Well, I tell you what, I hope he is, because he's been magnificent tonight as well. In the things he's done, helping to build play. He's integral with the way they play and play through the thirds. So comfortable on the ball. Trott is up to his feet, and here's the change. Robertson for Colwill. And a standing ovation for Joel Colwill, whose brother Reuben, very talented too, is out injured at the moment. A blue balloon flying up into the air in front of us as Robertson comes on. And Trott is on his feet again and ready to go. 10 minutes left. Cardiff City 1, Chelsea 1. Well, it's hard to call now, isn't it? That's for sure. Impossible. It really is impossible. You thought, where's the goal going to come from Cardiff? But their football was so good playing through the thirds, and they put it in the box. And if you switch off with a willing runner that Turnbull was to get in the box to guide that in, that's where the goal comes from. Cardiff here for the first time since 2012, when they went on to reach the final against Liverpool. And when you look back at that win over Chelsea 39 years ago, what was the final score? It was 2-1. 1-1 at the moment. Forward by Chambers for Cardiff. Salek takes it down neatly. Wide to Ashford. Runners forward in blue. Ashford on the right-hand side. Two in the middle. Reverse ball. Here's Alex Robertson. Good turn by Robertson. Lays it back to Ng. And it's wasted. It's straight at Jorgensen. Chelsea on the counter now. Pedro Neto carries it forward over halfway. It's 1-1 on Talksport.
Neto has the defender backing off in front of him. Neto suddenly goes infield into a more central area. Neto has been held up and he'll play it square to Moises Caicedo, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, as I say, the game is absolutely on a knife edge at the moment. It's fair to say the next goal is going to be the winning goal, that is for sure.
8.5 minutes to go. Chelsea with João Pedro back to goal, lays it off. Andre Santos, Pedro Neto with a shot from the angle, it's in! Chelsea have scored again! Pedro Neto across trot, and that maybe sends Chelsea into the semi-finals. Might have taken a nick off the defender on its way beyond the goalkeeper, but Neto picks out the bottom corner, and the subs have saved Chelsea tonight. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2.
Yeah, they certainly have. The power of the bench is so important in the modern game, and the quality that come on, good build-up play, patient by Chelsea, and when it come across to Neto, he's ended up, he just got a great strike on it, and it's probably one of the first times this evening that Cardiff haven't got a block on one of these efforts. It's gone through the leg of Bagan and into the far corner. And can Cardiff respond?
Well, they have done once. I think it took a little nick off Bagan, Stuart, and that maybe is enough to beat Trott. So an element of fortune about the goal. But you have to credit Chelsea, they have responded.
Well, they've just had a little bit too much quality, and if it finishes like this, it's that little bit of quality that they've got in their ranks.
And Chelsea are going to make another change very shortly, but Cardiff are on the attack. Willock is away down the left-hand side. Willock trying to cut in field, chips in the cross, headed away, hit by Turnbull on the volley! Onto the roof of the net! It bounced up over Jorgensen, and for a second I thought the goalkeeper was stranded there. It's gone onto the roof of the net, Stuart Pearce.
Yeah, it was. Good play by Willock, chipped the ball in the box when it was cleared. Turnbull's got on it, he's hit it first time, smashed it into the ground, and the bounce just took it over the top of the crossbar.
Right then, here is the Chelsea change. Trevor Chalobah for Achampong. So that'll be like for like for Chelsea, you would think. 2-1 up Chelsea now, but it's been a very difficult encounter for them, and you wonder how they will line up and how they will play out against Newcastle at the weekend, live on Talksport. That's on Saturday lunchtime, but I'm sure it'll be a much changed lineup for Chelsea. Wouldn't be surprised if there were 11 changes for that game.
Yeah, well, put it this way, I don't think any of the players that have come off in this game will be starting. It's fair to say their performances have been that poor.
You're absolutely right. Cardiff continuing to play out of the defensive third. Well, they've shown great courage, Cardiff City, tonight with the way that they played. Robertson beaten to it in the tackle by Andre Santos, and now the ball has dropped on halfway. Chelsea have it, with Harto, who's looked out to the left-hand side, continues his run after the little touch by Garnacho. Harto's nearly in behind, but smuggled away by Wintle for Cardiff. 2-1 Chelsea lead with 5 minutes to go. On Talksport, 5 minutes plus whatever's added at the end of the game. Chelsea go backwards with gusto, but still not sure they have it completely under control, Stuart?
No, it'd be fair to say, because Cardiff are so comfortable in playing through the thirds when they get their passing range right, and you've always got a chance just to go down.
Caicedo square to Chalobah with the bright green boots on, out to the right, and Pedro Neto, who may have scored the winner. His 6th of the season for Chelsea, and one to propel them perhaps into the semi-finals. It's with Badiashile midway inside his own half to Harto. First time ball to Garnacho, back to Yoral Harto again. Badiashile 03717 22 3344 for the sports bar once we're done here tonight at Cardiff City Stadium. Cleared away by Bagan for Cardiff. It'll bounce down. Turnbull, the goal scorer, can't get hold of it. It's dropped to Willock, though, who has poked it away from Chalobah, who was a bit slow to react. Every time Cardiff come forward now, the fans are on their feet. Willock back to Turnbull again. Turnbull with the early ball in and away by Badiashile. Is there one more chance left in this for Cardiff City yet? Chelsea break. over the halfway line now with Caicedo prodding it down the near side of the field. Inside right is Pedro Neto. Neto lays it square. Andre Santos. He's got Garnacho to his left. Garnacho left corner of the area. 2 in the middle for Chelsea. Garnacho on the outside, pulls it back. João Pedro back to goal. Turns, shoots, brilliantly blocked by Lawler. Got in the way and just about keeps Cardiff in the League Cup here with 3.5 minutes to go.
Yeah, the odd gap just appearing then. Cardiff pushing on to try and get this equaliser. And if you open up gaps against Chelsea, they've got enough quality on with these substitutes that have come on to hurt you.
Caicedo's in the centre circle now. Caicedo waits, goes backwards to Tosin. Well, what a moment Cardiff had when that equaliser went in. They'll cherish and remember that. But Chelsea look like they're going to win the match and go through to the semi-finals. We have the next 2 for you tomorrow on Talksport. Manchester City against Brentford, and on 2, Newcastle against Fulham, which kicks off 45 minutes after the first one. And then on the 23rd of December, Arsenal play Crystal Palace in the last of those League Cup quarters. 2.5 minutes left for Cardiff to take us to a shootout now, really. That's the best they can realistically hope for. It's with Chambers. Chambers is going to turn and go all the way back to Trott. They've probably got to go a bit more direct now, haven't they, Stuart?
Yeah, but it's not the nature of them. What I've seen with the eye, they play it through the thirds. They're very, very good at that. And Chelsea have got that physical presence in the back line.
Well, I'm sure that Brian Barry Murphy will be very proud of the way that his team have played. Will Fish is going to come on at centre half, formerly of Manchester United. Cardiff are going to make a very late change. Chelsea lead 2-1. Chelsea have the ball with Gusto, and now Andre Santos to Caicedo on the halfway line. It's a rare, poor ball that by Caicedo. Silly pass. He's given it straight to Willock and given Cardiff a little bit of momentum back. Robertson to Wintle, again on the halfway line. Angled ball out to the left. Bagan. Salek was calling for it up front. Salek's not really had the ball in front of goal so far. 90 seconds of normal time remain. Fish waits to come on for Cardiff City. Trott has played it forward to Robertson. Back to Chambers. That's going to trickle out of play. Chelsea have a throw near the corner flag, and Chelsea not far off here as Fish replaces Ng for Cardiff City, who on this evidence, Stuart Pearce, are going to make an instant return to the Championship surely if they play like this.
Yeah, you would think so. This is real quality. I was at the Wimbledon Mansfield game to give myself a little comparison, if you like, for teams in that league, and this footballing performance has been outstanding tonight from Cardiff, given the opposition especially.
Well, the Premier League side, the 5 times League Cup winners Chelsea, are going to get a shot at the semi-finals unless something really dramatic happens now. 30 seconds to go, plus added time. Chalobah backwards of the throw, toss into Badiashile on halfway. Badiashile back to his goalkeeper, and Jorgensen has time to control. He's midway inside his own half here, Jorgensen. Out to the left, and Garnacho back towards Jorgensen again, and Chelsea playing keep ball now. Here's the 4th official with that electronic board. Long punt from Jorgensen, header away by Fish. First touch since coming on for Cardiff. And 6 added minutes here. 6 added minutes, so maybe there is some very late hope for Cardiff City. 6 added at the end of the game. Alex Robertson for them. On the right-hand side, he's got Lawler on the overlap, tries to cut it back, but João Pedro is in the way this time, and Chelsea are going to be able to clear it upfield, and they just thump it high and long with about 30 seconds of the 6 added having been played. And Cardiff with Chambers not in any great rush to get the ball forward. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 2. Forward by Bagan, chip over the top. Now then, Willock could be in behind Chalobah. Willock is into the penalty area now. Willock chips in the cross, and it's headed away. Bagan, it drops for him on his left foot. Square now to inside the penalty area to Ashford. No penalty as he was tackled. Chelsea clear upfield. Referee emphatically said no spot kick, and then João Pedro is fouled on the edge of the centre circle. Ashford it was who was caught. No penalty given.
Yeah, they just tried to be a little bit too precise in the box there, Cardiff, to get their finish away. In the end, a good recovery challenge and smothered bodies around the ball. And I'm not sure that João Pedro was actually fouled. Clever, he's gone down on the ball, put his hands on the ball, and the referee has killed the game, and Chelsea will be delighted with that.
Time wasting now, Chelsea. Andres Santos it was with the challenge, and he got the ball. Replays show us 90 seconds through, 6 added at the end of the game here at the Cardiff City Stadium. If Cardiff get an equaliser, we're surely going to penalties.
Yeah, there's no doubt about that. And I don't think Chalobah has got with the pace of the game yet, has he?
No, not at all.
Had a real problem this side.
2-1 to Chelsea. João Pedro here on the angle. Could be through. Lofts it over the top under pressure from Fish. And it's a goal kick to Cardiff. 4 minutes left for them to find an equaliser, or they're heading out of the cup.
Yeah, they certainly are. But they've done this city proud tonight, that is for sure. They've been magnificent.
A really vibrant performance on and off the ball. It's felt like 2 Premier League sides, really, hasn't it, to be honest?
Yep, there's been very, very little between the sides this evening. One mistake probably has edged it in Chelsea's direction.
Bagan for Cardiff rolls it back to his goalkeeper. 2.5 minutes of the 6 added have now been played on Talksport. Trott clatters the ball upfield. Salek goes for it, beaten in the air by Tosin. Now João Pedro can touch it on to Garnacho here. Garnacho can race clear. Can he finish it off here for Chelsea? He does! He tucks it away beautifully. Alejandro Garnacho, as Enzo Maresca celebrates. It's 2 for Garnacho. It's 3 for Chelsea. And there's no doubt about it now. The 5 times League Cup winners are into the semi-finals. Cardiff 1, Chelsea 3. How clinical from Garnacho.
Yeah, the subs have made a massive, massive difference to Chelsea. The front 3 in the first half, very, very poor, but they've been so clinical, and Garnacho there getting his second in the game's just opened up the goal. The ball was bouncing, not easy to deal with. He's took the problems out of the ball and just scooped it past Trott's left hand. Good finish.
Well, there is now the expected exodus of Cardiff fans flooding out of the Cardiff City Stadium. You can't blame them at this point, but over halfway through added time. 3-1 to Chelsea, and that is that. Garnacho, well, one with his left foot from the angle, and from the same angle, one with his right foot.
Yeah, as I say, 2 very, very good finishes. And that's the difference, you know, make no mistake, this front 3 will be starting at Newcastle at the weekend that we're covering.
We are live on Talksport on Saturday lunchtime, and delight for the 3,000 travelling fans. Chelsea, as Enzo Maresca said, a 3rd semi-final in 18 months. Not getting enough support, he feels, as Chalobah clears, although there is I think a handball by Chalobah, and a free kick to Cardiff in the left wing position. But surely with only 90 seconds to go, it's not going to make any difference in the game now.
No, I just for pride now got a good opportunity to pop the ball in the box.
Oh, they're still singing loud and proud, the Cardiff fans. Free kick to them. Certainly they don't deserve really to be 2 behind. Hoisted in by Turnbull, the free kick, punched away by a diving Jorgensen through a crowd, and he's clattered into his own defender there. I think he's clattered into Badiashile, who is down. Play continues here. The ball is drilled towards goal, and easy for Jorgensen to save. Badiashile has stayed down, and I wonder whether Chelsea are going to need to get the physio on at this point. Leading 3-1, 45 seconds left, and Chelsea will be the first name in the hat for the semi-finals. Manchester City against Brentford, Newcastle against Fulham, Arsenal against Crystal Palace in the other matches. Badiashile's on his feet now, and all those games live across the Talksport network. Really looked like a shootout was on at one stage, but 2 late Chelsea goals have probably, well, they have certainly at this point now done enough to send Chelsea through. Long go Chelsea, and it's cleared away by Chambers.
Yeah, and as I say, it's just that power from the bench really that's turned the game, in all honesty. You know, they've without making these substitutions, I don't see them getting 3 goals.
Well, the ball is on the near side of the field. Trevor Chalobah with a long throw down the right, header away by Bagan for Cardiff. We've had the 6 minutes of added time, and all that remains is for the referee to blow the final whistle and confirm that Chelsea are into the semi-finals of the League Cup. And Enzo Maresca's team have seen their substitutes come on and save them really in the second half. 2 late goals, one from Pedro Neto, the other from Alejandro Garnacho, sending Chelsea back to West London with a 3-1 victory. They are the first team into the hat for the last 4, but what a valiant effort from League One Cardiff City, belying their position in the football pyramid. Isn't it a brilliant advert for our football pyramid, what Cardiff have managed to do? They got an equaliser through David Turnbull after Garnacho's opener off the bench for Chelsea, but Neto and Garnacho with those 2 late goals, and Chelsea have done enough. Chelsea are through, Cardiff 1, Chelsea 3.
Yeah, Chelsea make it through, and their staff are celebrating. They know that was a tough one. 3-1 actually, I think, flatters Chelsea a huge amount, but on Cardiff, their fans with the song, the anthem before the game, and saluting them at the end of the game as well, their fans know that they've done themselves proud tonight. They put up huge resistance to Chelsea this evening. In the end, the Premier League side has won out, but Stuart Pearce, 3-1 sounds good, but it wasn't that convincing from Chelsea, was it?
No, it wasn't on the run of play. Chelsea knew that they had to go to the bench, which they did very early in the game, and bring 2 subs on. The front 3 that finished the game were a threat, no doubt about that. The front 3 that started the game for Chelsea were very, very poor, and Cardiff dealt with them comfortably.
Yeah, I mean, Enzo Maresca, has he got more problems now? He's found some real difficulties here. In terms of the substitutes that came on, I'm just wondering exactly what he's learned from tonight, because there's so many problems that he's got.
Well, he's learned what his starting lineup is, I think, without a doubt. The 3 that finished up front have got cutting edge, and they've got the ability to score out of nothing, and that's the depth of this Chelsea squad. It was a similar performance to the one I saw against Burnley in the league a couple of weeks ago. Little bit inept, not a great performance, but they managed to get over the line because they had just enough ability to do so. And I think today's was one of those as well. Cardiff were fantastic, played through the thirds really well. A lot of people that have not seen Cardiff play regularly, and I being one of them, will come away from this ground being very impressed with them.
A quick word on Lawler, who's made that big error for the first Chelsea goal. I love the fact he's got his socks rolled down. He ends up at one point in the second half, he ends up in an inside left position on the edge of the Chelsea box. It's phenomenal for a right-sided centre-half. So young and inexperienced, but looks like he's been playing the game for ages. I don't doubt he's going to be in the Premier League before too long.
Well, he looked like a young Alan Hansen. Is probably the biggest compliment I can give him. He's very comfortable on the ball, dealt with his one-on-one situations reasonably well. He made one mistake in the game, and as is life, when you play against top quality opposition, it ends up in the back of your net. But great learning for him.
Stuart, it's been great to have your company this evening. Thank you very much. Chelsea's next Premier League game at Newcastle, Saturday lunchtime, live and exclusive on Talksport. Join Rashmin Chowdhury from 11 a.m. on Saturday. 2 more quarterfinals tomorrow night. City Brentford on Talksport, Newcastle Fulham on Talksport 2. Join me from 7 on Talksport tomorrow night. I'll be at St James's Park. Tonight, Cardiff played the better football at times. They looked the part. They matched Chelsea. Ashford, Wintle and G, Turnbull, Lawler and Trotsky, all the heroes. They can go back to the top of League One. They face fellow promotion hopefuls Lincoln in a big one on Saturday. Game Day Live will take you around the grounds with all the goals, including that game, third against first. But Chelsea through, not sure they've convinced anyone that they're the real deal, and they've probably made Maresca even more miserable than he was before the game. Chelsea, though, into the semi-finals, having beaten Cardiff by 3-1. The Sports Bar is next on Talksport. 03717 22 33 44.